Welcome to Tower of Dreams, D&D 5e Eberron campaign run using Fantasy Grounds. Let's just go down the list to introduce everybody. Mr. Bitters, who are you? What do you do? And who are you playing?
I'm Mr. Bitters, and I'm Mr. Tired, and I play Mr. Toussaint Valentin Duchamp, the swashbuckling charlatan who likes ladies and fun and booze and guns. Good combination.
Is he American?
All at once.
A true American hero. Dimmy. Dimmy, who are you? Who do you play? What are you doing?
I am Dimmy. I am the artist of this group. I am playing Tranquility, and yeah, fucking shit's happening, yo. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
What is a tranquility?
Yeah, what is
Tranquility is a Warforged monk. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Warforged monk. Yeah.
Yeah, saying your tranquility and not doing anything is... Yeah.
I'm
Jolts.
fucking
He
tranquil. I
is
am
the
at
state of
peace,
tranquility.
yo.
Jolts, who the hell are you? Who do you play? What are you doing?
I
Okay.
I play as Creep. I am incredibly interested in the mortality of mankind and living people, and I have a great interest in discovering the inner workings and bettering humanity as they have bettered me.
By cutting
I
them
am a
up.
warforged who seeks evolution.
Matthew, who are you? What do you do? Who you
I
playing?
am Matthew because I lack creativity, and I am playing Aldrin Salo, the Ondarian / Berlindish mystic human who is as old as balls and has no idea what he's doing here.
You said mystic human, and I heard it as Mr. Cumin.
I am Mr. Human.
It's the Indian version of Mr. Noodle.
Oh God damn it!
I don't understand. But Orion, who are you? Who do you play? What are you doing?
I'm Orion. That's actually my name, not my handle. I'm playing Ebenezer Riston, a former librarian turned crazy wild magic sorcerer. He's a big stickler for rules, and he's here because he's being fucked with.
You just doxed yourself. I hope you realized that.
I feel like
I mean, in fairness, there can't be many Orions out there.
Yeah.
There are a few of us, but
it is a
yeah.
fantasy name.
There
Right.
is at least one.
That's awesome name.
I mean,
It
yeah, but he
is.
lives in the stars.
In the stars.
Yeah. And
Oh,
his belt is famous.
Oh.
God damn it, come on.
Trister, who are you? Who do you play? Why do I put up with you?
I am Trista. I play Annika Fritz, and I honestly don't know why. Yeah, Goblin
Cool.
Artificer. Probably the opposite of Ebenezer, in that she doesn't care for rules. She does the fucking with people, and she got a big gun.
All right.
Got
And finally-
a lady with a big gun.
And finally, I'm Rick. I DM this game. I stream games here at twitch.tv/thekittenhugs. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter at the same handles. And if you wish to support this game, you can subscribe on Twitch. You can donate via Streamlabs. We've got a bunch of perks down below. $3, you can give someone inspiration. $5, interact with our action point system. A new one this week. $10, you can add or remove a creature from an encounter. Or $25 if you want to have a much bigger impact on the campaigns. All donations are completely optional, and I appreciate your support. If you want to support me in a longer-term sense, you can also find me on patreon.com/thekittenhugs, where I do homebrew requests monthly for my $5 and up patrons. So far, we've got some cool stuff up there if you want to check it out. But let's get right into it, shall we?
news.
Yes. So, last session, the party collected at Moorgrave University after a long month of preparation. Jobs were quit, sights were seen, and experiences were had, all exchanged as they waited for the mysterious Lady Dolorith. The party was finally driven inside the university by a storm as rain pelted them from above. Lady Dolorith arrived soon after, escorted by her compatriot Gwen. They both looked happy, a bit dour, and soaked by rain. A lot of you quickly went to the third floor into Dala Aran's office, where the contents of that accursed book, The Littlest Moon, or the 13th Moon, if shown under moonlight, were revealed, and the way forward was decided. In the depths of Zendrick, within its great desert, the Menectaroon, a great tribe stirs. A Thrycreen has declared himself a king, holding an iron scepter topped with flame and draped in chains, the spitting image of the scepter of Fel Kadash. It is a long, long way to that desert. Dolorith has said she will pull some strings to get you teleported through someone she knows in House Orion to the Zendrick city of Stormreach, and Dala Arand will accompany you as she knows her way around Zendrick. She's been there probably 3 or 4 times on expeditions. But once you arrive in Stormreach, you're going to be largely on your own.
Is she not helping us beyond Stormreach?
Yes, Dala Arand will be helping you. Lady Dolorith cannot.
Gotcha.
So let's transition over to Fantasy Grounds. What's up?
How do I change my armor class?
What is your armor class?
At the moment it's 16. I just didn't know if you'd added my fancy cloak.
It is included in the combat tracker, I believe. Yes, it is.
Cool.
It is included in the combat tracker.
Then all is well.
Yes. A Balrog might be a little early on to throw against them. They're only level 5. Please be gentle.
We could take him. We could take him easy peasy.
Right, like 3 of us would be dead though.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
And you would be one of them because you'd run up and insult it like you did last time.
You might be able to run away. So yes, you guys start by arriving in... I think I have some images for this. No, I definitely do not. Let me find... Yeah, let's just use this as a display picture. Or some sort of display. So a lot of you wake up in the... A lot of you wake up in the Eye of the Beholder and quickly take off across the city and down to Tavik's Landing. This is the entryway to Sharn. It is where the lightning rail station is. It's the last stop on the Brelish line. You pass on bridges that overlook probably 7 different lightning rails being serviced and managed. You see one head off in the mid-morning and off into the sunset. Or sunrise? No, not even that. It rises up in the west. What am I even thinking?
This is a wonderfully beautiful sight, don't you all think?
Most of you have seen this by arriving here yourselves. Really quick, want to stop. Stone resubscribed earlier for 2 months with the message "gay." I agree.
Same.
I also donated $18. Inspiration all around. You may need it. I'm sorry.
Woo!
Hey.
God, don't stop.
Oh god.
Also, shoutouts to Matthew for the revive and Orion for short round. Also, quick plug: are you a geek, a nerd gamer? Then Loot Crate is for you for the cheap rate of 14. No, it's not $14.99. It's $13.37 to get a box of crap.
Seriously.
Yes, the lowest price for a Loot Crate is $13.37. So you lot head to the House Orion Enclave. Let me look up a thing. So yes, everyone gets inspiration, as said. You see, House Orion just has a big set of doors. They've got like 4 guards out front, but they don't seem too worried about things. The doors are open, and above them is their crest, a shimmering unicorn with some illusion magic on it to make it look lifelike.
That is cool.
You don't see Lady Dolorith around. However, Dala Arand, with her brown tan skin and her long hair and excited eyes, quickly comes over to greet you.
New attitude.
Oh, I see that you've arrived a bit early. I might have been waiting here for hours.
A bit
It's
eager, aren't you?
it's been a while since I've been to Zendrick. I'm very excited to return.
Hmm.
I can't say I'm excited about what we're about to do, but it is quite a new experience.
Oh, Zendrick is a wonderful land. It's unexplored, mysterious, full of danger and intrigue. It's I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the depths of Argonison.
Where's Argonison? What's Argonison?
It's the continent of dragons.
Oh.
No, where mortal men do not tread.
Ooh. I'm sure the giants felt somewhat similar a long time ago.
They're so well. The giants aren't our focus, but I'm sure we'll run into some along the way. Well, come on, we've got an appointment to keep. Lady Dolores. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, where is Lady Dolores and her bodyguard?
She contacted me early this morning and said she had some business to attend to. But that she would tell her friend in House Orion that we would be arriving.
She contacted you earlier and said, "All right."
She's a very busy woman.
What is she busy with most of the time?
She travels all over. As far as I know, she travels all over Corvair. She's got many people working for her. She says she has some business to attend to in Karnath. Awfully long way away from here. Wasn't for that dashing Rickard who runs that airship for her, I'm sure that she'd be less likely to go around traveling all over the place. But she's rich as can be. What can you do?
I suppose. Still don't know what business she does.
I
not
try not
suspect,
to think
but
about it
weird.
too much.
Of course. Well, we're going to Zendrick now. I guess that will occupy all of our thoughts.
It's unfortunate we might be gone for, what, months?
Probably
time
months,
off?
yes. Probably.
More time for us to be together.
Yes,
I enjoy
yes. Go ahead,
I
Creed.
enjoy the
Sorry.
chance to grow. I
Zendrick
believe this is a good experience.
Zendrick will be a great place to do that, I assure you. Come on. She grabs Aldrin by the hand and drags him into the thing. JK Laser 10 donates $10. Gonna add / remove a monster into combat later. Also, have you guys heard of Loot Crate? Use promo code RICK to get 13.37% off your Elite Gamer Gear. Fatality!
God damn it.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Do you actually have a partnership with Loot Crate?
I'm never going to now.
No, because they're like, he'll do it for free. Pay him, just like.
Oh, I've kind of shat on them too much, but thank you for your very generous donation. Keep that encounter power in your back pocket.
The encounter power.
Oh, well,
This
you
isn't
did
4th
add it.
edition, Rick. You can't have those anymore.
It's 4th edition in the stream. I mean, as we play, it's 5e, but yeah. So anyway, you guys head into House Orion. It's big, wide halls, big enough so that like even wagons and stuff can be transported through. Because you do see these wagons being pulled by these massive horses back and forth. It looks like you see into one large room and it's like a warehouse. Look into another and it's like a set of cubicles with people sort of hashing out numbers and like sealing letters and sending them off and so what. But she quickly moves in. You can see that she's following signs on the walls that reads to teleportation room.
To the gateway. Neat.
If you take the way, lass.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Teleportation circles.
A nod.
No.
Hmm.
Don't worry.
them once in the past.
It's quite harmless. It's quite harmless.
All right, but if I teleport and I'm missing a screw,
Actually-
well, we might have a problem.
Do they have these teleport circles in Arcanix?
Yes, there are teleportation circles in basically every major city on Corvair.
In that case, I just walk forward. Like, these aren't new. They use them in Arcanix. Come on.
You did meet a few people who could do them yourself, but access to such magic, it does require pretty powerful magic, so you're not sure what to expect with that. But you take a left and go down a wide room, passing by several people. Dala says hi to them. She seems really amicable and really excited to get going. And she, standing outside this room that has House Orion's, it has the crest of House Orion above it, surrounded in this weird swirling circle, back and forth, that reminds you of a dragon mark in its aesthetic. But it's just inscribed on the walls. Standing in front of it is a tall man with black hair and green eyes, and his most stunning feature is that he has the nastiest scar from the right of his mouth up next to his eye, and then up under his hair. And then, like, you follow that, and then your eye quickly runs to his hand, which is his right hand, which is exposed, and you see that he's missing most of his fingers, and what's not gone of his hand is quite badly burnt.
Ooh.
His left, the left shoulder of his outfit is sort of purposely, sort of not torn away, but hemmed and sewn away to expose his left shoulder and left upper arm, and you see a glowing and quite extravagant dragon mark upon it. He does wear a cloak, which he just sort of has back to expose his shoulder, and it has a clasp with the symbol of House Orion, that glorious unicorn symbol upon it. As you walk up, Dala takes his hand, which, with its missing fingers, and shakes it vigorously. Oh, you must be Lady Dolores' friend, then.
Yes, we are.
No, that was Dala greeting him. Yeah. It's like, oh, you must be Lady Dolores' friend here. We're the ones that she sent forward about. This tall man glances at the rest of you. He's taller than, who's the tallest among you? I think Creep and Tranquility probably would be.
I don't know. Tranquility's not overly tall.
Everyone else is short.
Creep's sheet doesn't say how tall he is. Tranquility is short for a Warforged. So I'm guessing Annika must be the tallest among you.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Creep is very lanky. He might be.
I imagine he's tall. He's probably unusually tall, like an
Creepily
awkwardly tall.
He's a
like
lurch.
just this.
He's a lanky
This
lurch.
very skeletal-looking, lanky guy who just creeps over top of you. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Leggy bopped.
This man's about as tall as Creep is. He looks at the lot of you pretty suspiciously, like judging the lot of you. He lets go of Dala's hand, and you can see that he, like, his hand with the missing fingers kind of twitches a bit. Well, there's no time to waste then. I'm running on a schedule, I'll have you know. Come with me. Come on.
Are you okay? You seem to have the most dour mood, if you don't mind me saying.
My life has been one set by more hardships than most dragon-marked people. He turns around and opens up the doors behind him with his left hand. Inside is you're sort of struck by the bright light inside it, because the room inside is very brightly lit. The rest of the place is lit by ever bright lanterns, but this has, like, like 5 times as many lanterns as the hallways.
Damn.
Oh wow.
It is a wide room. At the other side, as your vision adjusts, you can see a large sliding door, which is closed. In the middle of the room, you see a large circle covered in swirling shapes that remind you of dragon marks, just as the one that's above the door outside. Several men are adjusting a set of wagons pulled by 2 very large and muscular horses, and one man sits at the front of this wagon train smoking a pipe. He's got his hat down. He might be napping.
Just inhaling all that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're on the schedule.
He breathes in. He breathes in the smoke and then breathes it out his nose. You hear a loud snoring that sort of putters with the smoke. What did you say? Sorry.
I said they don't look like they're on a schedule.
They're waiting for you. But
Well,
no matter.
we're
No
here
matter.
now.
House Orien owes a great deal to Lady Dolorith for her work for them in the past. This is quite nothing.
What sort of work?
He just looks at you and cracks a smile. You can see that several of his teeth on his right side, where his scar is, are missing.
Oh, poor guy.
This dude must have been mauled by like the world's meanest like owlbear. Jesus.
Well, it takes me a few minutes to set up the teleportation circle, after which you will have only a few seconds to get in. After that, I'll be returning. I'll be turning tomorrow, and there's only a return trip every 3 days or so. So
Every
should
3
be-
days.
we should be able to catch a teleportation ride back if you're quick about it and don't make a fuss at the Citadel of the 12 down in Stormreach. They tend to be quite on edge most of the time, living in Zendrick and all.
Do they know we're coming, or will they be surprised by our sudden arrival?
It will be no matter, really.
Okay.
So he reaches into his vest, reaches under his cloak into like a shirt pocket and pulls out a piece of chalk. It's not like it's a small piece of chalk, like blackboard chalk. However, it shimmers in the light and is a deep crimson red. You notice that it probably has like gemstones ground into it.
That is a beautiful stone.
He moves forward and begins tracing it over the lines drawn in the circle in the middle of the room. The people that are setting up the wagons tie them on and tie them off. Make sure that the horses are set. Wake up the dude with the pipe who's like, ugh, ugh. Oh, we finally going, Brain, then. About time. Brain, the man with missing fingers, doesn't answer, continues to trace the circle.
Do we hop on the wagon, or do we just like rush in when he says go?
Oh, you should probably just rush in. There's a chance the last part of the wagon won't make it in, you see.
Oh,
Ah, is that how you lost your fingers?
I just look
He-
at like
He
Dear.
falters for a short moment and then continues you can tell that he is casting a spell. Like it is a ritual cast of a spell.
That was not a no.
No, that's Bran Thorian. That man saved about 15 dragon-marked members of dragon-marked houses back in the war. Barely managed to get away. Almost died in the attempt. Didn't you, Brain? He doesn't answer.
have I heard of this man before? Being, ex-soldier and all that, I guess.
Roll a history check. Maybe you have. The individual members of a dragon-marked house aren't particularly known, though. But you can roll a history check if you wish. Yeah, you've heard of Brain the Orien. It's like it's not brain. It's like Brain.
Brain.
I was
Brain.
gonna say, did they just misspell Brian and he got stuck with it? 'Cause-
It's like Brain, but most people just say Brain because it's faster.
Brain.
But yeah, you've heard of him. He did make a show of himself during the war. However, you recall that he refused treatment, like refused having his fingers regrown. But just like for the last several years after his injuries, has been serving as a teleportation teleportation tech in
Ooh.
House Orion's travels to Stormreach.
No, I wish the spell allowed for more time. This man in front of us is a very interesting fellow.
I'm sure we can chat with him when he's on the other side. He said he'd be coming with us and then return in 3 days. Did he
Oh,
not?
don't count on it if you don't got money for him. Brain don't want none of it. Do you, Brain? The man continues to cast the circle.
I'm sure he's just absolutely done with our shit at this point.
Yeah, he's super done. So as he nears, he's working like a spiraling pattern, tracing over the swirling lines and the fine runes. Finally, he stands in the middle as the piece of chalk is ground down to nothing, and he finishes off with the chalk dust on his finger. The dragon mark on his left shoulder begins to pulse out green and blue light as if its shape is coming off of his skin. And then the teleportation circle lights up and his dragon mark peels itself off of his skin and begins to wrap around him. It swirls around the teleportation circle, whipping wind around the room in a small, furious dust devil, until finally it vanishes, and he vanishes, and left in its place is this glowing, bright ball about 10 inches in diameter that you can see like this distorted version of another room very similar to this one through.
Are we running in?
Ebonir runs in.
Oh,
Ebony runs in.
Quick, everyone!
I follow suit.
The wagon train driver, hears his massive horses, and they move into the teleportation portal.
This is
Uh,
cool.
Annika like hesitates for a moment, like almost steps back, and then like just fucking runs in.
No one wants to be left behind.
Creep, Toussaint?
I think Toussaint was standing just behind Annika, seeing her hesitation, was getting ready to push her, but she ran. He jumped in after her.
No, don't worry. I got you.
I feel like I'm standing just right next to Annika.
Not anymore, you're not.
Oh yeah, not anymore.
Come on,
I
I'm
just-
just.
You're standing one continent away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you run in.
I'm in.
Say the words.
Words.
Do it!
I guess you're all left behind.
Jill.
No, I would get into it. I would get
Oh,
into it.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm used to seeing these things from Arcanix. I'm not exactly nervous of a teleportation circle.
Okay, we were just waiting for you to say so.
Yeah, no, I'm in
Think
it.
So.
So you all enter the portal. Your vision warps for a moment, like the entire world like zooms away, like turning up the field of vision in a game to like 360,
Oh god, I see everything and it hurts.
and then it warps, and then it seems to like loop back around, and a new room comes into view.
Well, that wasn't half bad.
This room
Yeah.
is even bigger. Its walls are packed with shelves, and a large open door leads. You are just inundated with the sounds of thunder and loud, very heavy rain and wind coming from outside this door. Brain is checking over the wagons as they have come through as the portal closes with a soft pop. The horses and the wagons seem to have all gotten through just fine.
Is that just supplies then?
Oh, don't you worry about that. We've got everything.
Yes. Every time someone tells me not to worry about something, I immediately begin worrying right away.
It's House Orion business. You don't have to worry about it. Like I said, you can piggyback on another trip back. Run one every 3 days or so. Really quick, Jolts donated $10 dues earlier and said for being an awesome GM. So I guess you have some control over a future encounter.
Wait,
And then also donated 100 bits with the Kappa.
Yes, with the Kappa.
Kappa.
So meta.
Cheeky.
And for the record, if you don't want to give me the ability to like control an encounter, that's
Oh, no, man,
fine.
it's,
I'm
like-
a player.
Donation perks are 100% available to everybody.
Officially pay to win.
Officially pay to win.
Officially pay to win.
Just pay $10. Just pay a bunch of money to remove the entire encounter, and don't get any XP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't need
Yeah.
XP if you have money, because you can just make all the encounters go away.
Hey.
No, better yet, I can donate $10 and spam ogre so we can get tons of EXP.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, guys. After our 10,000th ogre, we'll reach level 20.
So,
So it's either paying to power level or paying to like Smurf.
this is awful.
So let me show you
So-
guys.
What was the historian's name again? That we're going
Dala Arand. Dala.
Well,
Jesus.
Dala, you've been here
She-
before.
I've got just some sound effects in the background. Matthew.
Oh, maybe I cannot hear it.
It's pretty quiet right now. There we go. This is
Oh, that's perfect. That's superb.
it's
That's-
just
Noises to help you study .jpeg or
Yeah.
.wave. You wouldn't have an
Yeah.
image. JPEG. Shut up.
so it is. You can see out this door, and it is storming like hell outside. You can see like the doors have been. You can hear that the doors are outside, and you can hear them like whacking against the stone wall. Let me share with you a map.
Yeah, maps.
Oh. Does it
Welcome.
always rain here?
Not always. You can see that she's got out a hefty leather cloak, and is putting it on. It's a waterproof cloak. Not sure if anyone else has one of those.
Nope.
Mine should be pretty waterproof, shouldn't it?
In fact, Ebeneer no longer has his Wynern robes. He has the explorer's outfit with the pliff hat.
God damn it.
Of course he does.
Well, you might
Oh my
want to
God.
put on the hat.
Do you want to put that?
Oh my god, please tell me you have like the straight up old English style
That's
like
the pliff hat. That's
like
the pliff
like
hat.
fucking explorer's pants with the big
Yes.
overly sized
We're
legs.
going
Oh
into
my God, this is
we're
awesome.
going into Africa to steal ancient artifacts and put them in
Exactly.
museums.
Exactly.
Girls
That
and
is
girls.
exactly what Ebeneer is wearing right now.
Fine British museums too.
I
Don't worry about your artifacts. You can come to us later and
Yeah.
see them in the museum with the rest of us.
Yes. Fantastic.
Fucking amazing.
Good show.
I hope you bought like 5 flags as well. We need to colonize these uncivilized lands.
Right, exactly.
Put down a flag. This is my land now.
Exactly.
Do you have a flag? No flag, no country.
Oh, Jesus. So it is.
think-
You left at about noon. About noon is when you went through the teleportation circle. Outside, it is like black as night. which is very
Oh.
strange because Zendrick is in like the same side of the world as Corvair is.
Wait a minute, aren't you saying we're supposed to be in mountain time still? What the shit?
This
Dark. Why is it so
no,
dark?
this is definitely this is definitely Stormreach. It's just storming very, very badly. And you can see that the cloud cover is just so thick that it's the sun is useless against this.
What did I expect from a name of a place called Stormreach?
You have a valid
Yeah.
point.
The storms are pretty heavy, but don't worry, I know the perfect place for us to go and warm up. I don't think the members of House Orion will let us sit here for too long.
Do you know a place where we can buy one of those cloaks that you have?
Not here.
Not here. Fantastic.
There'll be plenty of stuff to. There will be plenty of time to buy things once we
Get out of here.
Yeah, once we get out of here.
Well, I suppose you should lead the way then.
After you.
Bye, Brain, Dorian. I hope to see you when we return in a few months' time.
Please.
Thank you for the journey.
He
It's a
waves
shame
goodbye
we
with the three fingers on his hand.
Oh god, that's just
And
so
it's
fucking
more like 2.5. His pinky, ring finger, and half of his middle finger are gone.
Wow.
Just Pinky.
2.5 fingers is probably the worst sitcom to come out of Comedy Central.
You're not wrong.
Don't worry. He can. Don't worry. He can still give you the old fingers.
Hashtag fingers.
Hashtag-
I don't know what I was going for there, but it definitely didn't work out.
Well, just as a follow-up to my last joke, 2.5 fingers would be better because it has objectively less Charlie Sheen in that he's apparently missing half his hand.
Yeah.
Finger.
Oh god.
No, let's just play it.
All right,
And
let's
we're done
play.
tonight.
the game.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff. Let's go.
So Doll leads you outside with her waterproof cloak on, and you guys are immediately drenched. Like you spend 3 seconds in the rain and you are soaked to the bone. It is coming down in sheets.
Right.
It's coming down. It's coming down with such force that it stings your exposed skin like little ant bites.
Rick, is
Dara,
my
lead the
cloak
way.
not waterproof?
Your cloak is waterproof, but you're still getting hit in the face.
Oh yeah, I'm just
Ow,
making it slightly less horrible.
Ebonir casts Mage Hand and has the Mage Hand sit above his eyes to like hold the rain off.
It doesn't help.
Just have it over your face because it's invisible, right?
I know
It's not
it's
invisible.
It's not invisible. Only arcane
Spectral.
tricksters get the invisible.
Ah,
one.
right, damn it.
We follow Dala.
Yes. So, for reference, you guys are down here. Let me open up a thing so that I have some reference to go off of, because I read up on Stormreach, but I should have read up on it again.
What number are we on? What are we on?
So we're like
You
near
guys-
24.
24.
Oh, okay.
So you come out, and to your left, you see this large, steeped tower, and behind that, an even larger set of walls that you can just barely make out through the rain. And to your right, you see a stone bridge going off what looks like a deep chasm. The streets and walkways are absolutely soaked to the bone. You know what I could actually do is grab a token, put it on here for you guys. It's too big. I've got to lock. Oh god! I gotta lock the token scale. There we go. So yeah, you guys. She quickly leads you across the stone bridge. It's very slick, but she doesn't seem to have a problem with it.
It's almost
Yeah,
like she's
thank
been
you.
here before and knows what to deal with.
Yeah. So she leads you. Yeah, it's.
Are
She
we
does.
slipping? But she's fine?
She is like holding herself, but you can tell that she is struggling.
Oh, okay.
But you get across the stone bridge. You can see that below it is like this deep chasm, probably like 100 feet deep, just dividing this area from one area from another. Through the rain, you can see these massive 60-foot tall walls. You can't even begin to fathom how thick they are. They are very old and very overgrown with many plants. You see lightning strikes in the middle of the city, and you see a large red tent with a lightning rod atop it at the very center, probably at number 11, up at the marketplace. It sort of looks out. You can just barely see it above the walls.
Well then,
This place is rough, somewhat beautiful, but I.
Oh yes, we'll be able to look at it afterwards. Just come on.
Yes.
She trudges through the mud over the trudges through the mud and takes you around this tall building that is like made of wood in the middle here. And there's several like closed up wooden houses next to it and built into the walls. And there is a stone and wood building in the shadow of one of the large walls. You can see that what looks like ship's rigging and wooden bridges like arching between the wood walls of this big central circle area and the others. And this actually seems pretty common. One sec.
A new follower.
It seems pretty common, considering what you could see in the flashes of lightning. But you step in to. Let me grab some info on this.
That timing on the flashes of lightning was perfect.
maybe you don't like thundering and storming where you are.
No, I just hear thunder over the mic somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he's got his fancy stuff going.
yeah.
I've got tabletop audio coming through.
Ah,
Because clever.
So you see that there's these big open windows with light coming out of them. You can hear music over even the rain, and she opens up the thick oak door, and you're just blasted by the sound of merrymaking and such as you enter in out of the rain.
Oh, thank God. And Aldrin started taking off his clothes.
So this tavern is packed to the brim. Despite its large size, it's probably like 130 or like 150 by 100 and like 200 feet. It's a single massive room.
So
it is full of rain-soaked merrymakers. A huge and diverse bunch. You see a man, an elf with like pitch black skin, sitting in deep talks with a man who must be at least 14 feet tall, whose head would probably hit the ceiling when he stands. You've seen a bunch of goblins dancing around with a very confused-looking creature, like some sort of insectoid humanoid with two sets of arms.
Do we know that?
Do I know what that is?
You see a warforged talking with two blustering dwarves, their table filled with cups from trying to drink him under the table, and they're very much losing because warforged can't really get drunk. You can roll. I know you would know from the mentions of Thrycreen that it is a Thrycreen. You could just have a cursory glance. You would also know that that dark-skinned elf is a drow. He's got several like large tattoos over his face that are just white on his black skin.
Is there a place we can change out of these clothes?
You'll have to deal with it. Come on. I'll go speak to Brick. Brick knows me. I've been in here a few times. She
starts using the mage hand to wring out his clothes.
It doesn't really help that much. It's
like Tranquility ends up doing something really weird where it looks like he literally pops off his toe for a moment and just all the water that's been gathering inside his foot and parts of him just drip out.
God. It feels like you put on clothes that were just in the washer.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
yeah.
It's my brand new hat. Soaked.
These are your best clothes.
I thought those hats were specifically supposed to be waterproof.
Probably this one is not. For
We're
whatever
going
reason.
on an adventure in a place where it doesn't rain like this.
So Dala makes a beeline for the bar at the far end. The far end of the tavern.
Well, I suppose we should follow her or whatnot.
Of course.
I will stroll steadily behind her at least.
As I'm following, I'm kind of like crossing my arms over each other as shelter for the spider in my cloak.
It's your spider is well and drenched. It's alive.
Asshole!
but
Why did
God.
you dismiss me? You suck!
He is not happy about this.
No, your little spider friend is pretty pissed.
But
Bugger!
It's a big spider.
So he brings you over, and eeny meeny miny mo, Aldrin. As you're walking over, you stumble over what feels like a mop, and you look down and see this enormous black furred dog.
Oh,
It looks like the size of a small pony. It is.
Jesus.
It is a mastiff of mastiffs, and it looks up to you with its dripping jowls, and then puts its head back down on its paws.
I
That mob would fuck you up.
I put my hands in front of me as if to kind of like, sorry, and turn back quickly and walk towards Dala briskly.
Yeah, you're like following her and just sort of stumble over it just before you get to the bar. So at the bar, Dala grabs the hand of this thick, extra thick dude. The bartender is wearing a white shirt that is stained terribly, terribly bad. He's got a plain leather apron over. He's balding, mostly bald, got this thick handlebar mustache and a jovial look on his face. And he's a bit on the large size, but he's fat, but he's like world record setting bodybuilder fat. This dude looks like he could probably wrestle a bear and win.
Damn,
Big deal. I've seen a Halfling do that.
oh,
Yeah.
This is why they call me Dick.
He's discussing news with a halfling fellow who has a mug of ale that is far too big for him. And as he turns away with a laugh, sees Dala. It's like, oh, it's Dala, Dala. I'm an archaeologist. Yes, the archae whatever. Good to see you. And he shakes her tiny little hand in his massive man mitts. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Need some drinks? Need a table? She pays for some drinks. Turns toward Tranquility. Please, go find us a seat. I'll be right over.
As you wish. As I'll go off to go find us a big enough table for all of us to sit at.
What's everyone else doing?
I go up to the bartender whose name is Brick, right?
I know
excuse me.
she said Brick, but you're not really sure. That seems like a weird thing to call somebody.
Sir, gentleman, bartender.
He's
Bucky.
pouring ale for or he's pouring drinks for her. There's like a plate on the table. He's filling up 1 mug, 2 mug, red mug, blue mug. But he looks up to you. Yeah, sir. What can I get you?
Where do we dry our clothes? Ugh.
Oh, you just go sit over by one of the hearths. You'll warm up just fine.
Thank
You'll
you.
dry off just fine. There are about 4 different fireplaces, but they look like they're pretty full up right now.
I make my way over to one of the fireplaces and try and get close enough to it.
Yeah, you feel some warmth, but it's mostly just from the bodies that are around. There's like four men, four humans, an elf, and like an orc sitting up around it, just trying to. The orc is like down to a loincloth, drying on, and has his what are probably his clothes drenched over the hearth, like the top of it.
Are there any places on the hearth that a smaller creature could hide?
Yes, but you realize that sending a spider out among all these people is likely to get it squished.
I was hoping there'd be a way for him to sneak over there, yeah.
You know you can just dismiss the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're familiar. You can just use an action to pop it into an extra dimensional space.
Right.
Summon it at
Back
any
into
time.
Right.
Well, my thought was I don't want my spider to be pissed at me. So
It's a familiar. It loves you. Period.
This thing is like the best Pokemon you could ever hope for.
It's the only thing that loves creep. Come on now.
Oh, way too real.
That's harsh for me.
Alright, well, I'm gonna dismiss it and go to my only friend, the fire.
Was there any space for rooms? I mean, as in, when we were walking in, did it look like there was like a second floor?
This is not an inn. This is a tavern.
Ah.
However, looking around, you do notice on the north wall. By the way, on the Stormreach map, north is to the right.
What the shit is with all this?
Fucking
There's a
dwarves,
thing
man.
can't be that's done this to me.
It's because this was put on. It was meant to be put on a single page.
Makes sense.
Alright. So up on the north wall, you see that next to the hearth there is a huge area of wall just covered in papers. Papers with illustrations on them, all of them with writing on them, stuck in with some stuck in with like toothpicks, some stuck in with nails, some of them stuck in with knives and forks. It's in a wall of written notices that goes from floor to ceiling. And notice that they're in sections that are labeled. Like there's ones like looking for hire, looking for work, looking for group, looking for raid, looking for guild, etc.
Well, what are the categories like? What are they divided up by?
They are divided up by that. They're like looking for work, looking for information, looking for hires.
Is there anything there about accommodation?
No, it doesn't seem like that sort of board.
I have a quest for you. It's to find a house.
Find a house.
In this market? God.
It is for all intents and purposes a quest board. Some people are looking at it, but with the way that things are drenched, most people aren't going near it. It does seem like there was a lot of notices, some more recent than others.
Yeah. Aldrin's gonna take off his clothes and then kind of like.
All of them?
No. He's gonna change down to his like underwear, I guess. But he wears like really long breeches as underwear, so sort of fine.
It's down to his onesie.
It's down to his onesie.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining now.
Opens the butt flap to get some air. And of course, it's red and made of wool. Of course.
Of course.
Santa.
But yeah, he's gonna put his clothes in the hearth, kind of keeping an eye on it while. So just checking out the message board or the notice board. Sorry, just perusing.
So meanwhile, Tranquility, you find a big. You find a table big enough to seat everyone. You could probably seat maybe two more than you've got, but it's a pretty big table that some people just left to go get into. Just start a row of singing across the bar, which for the size of the bar you can barely hear over everyone else.
What do you do? You can say that.
Oh God. They're saying it's something. You notice that above all else, for a tavern this packed in the middle of the day with the storm outside, there's no one's causing any problems. It's rather peaceful considering it's so full. There's probably like 50 people in this tavern, and no one is having a fist fight. That's pretty incredible.
Score. All right.
Well, not that Tranquility would know that. He's only 3 years old. He's only a minor. He would never go to a tavern and
Look, Toussaint's already
alcohol.
ruined this for. Look, Toussaint's already ruined this for you. You can just drop the act now, okay?
Wow.
That
No
came out
innocence
really
survived.
condescending. I'm so sorry.
It's fair.
All right, so you got the table. It's not long before Dala sits around it. She's got a glass of warm ale, I suppose. What's an alcoholic drink that is supposed to be drunk warm?
Mead.
Cider.
Let's go with cider.
You guys drink cider warm, you freaks. I suppose if it's like that's fair, but
Cider's best of all. I don't know what
Yeah.
You've
Hot
got
cider?
you've got some warm cider to warm yourselves, and the heat of the tavern is probably like it's pretty hot inside there. It's like 90 degrees in there, but considering how drenched you are, it's not too bad. Yeah, that's an exaggeration. It's probably 80.
Ebonir comes back to the table and is still soaked in sees Aldrin down to his skivvies and just sighs, and then starts taking off his clothes but the underwear and just hangs it and gives up.
Oh.
And drinks.
Dala is blushing and tries to distract herself by just drinking what she can drink.
Well, I would make this more awkward because I get completely naked, but at the same time I'm a Warforged, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
you're a
naked.
Warforged. Like most of there are 3 Warforged in there, and they're all they don't wear any clothes. They don't care.
But the fact that I have clothes is fucking weird.
I guess.
I mean, I barely wear clothes. I just have a cloak and a loincloth.
Same.
So, what is the is the rest of the party here, or is it just me and Tranquility?
Anakov actually snuck off to follow Creep when he left, and followed wherever he happened to go.
I went over to the nearest fire to sit and dry my clothes. Or my cloak.
That thing you cover yourself in, that thing.
The thing that I used to kind of mask my skeletal appearance and my very strange look as far as Warforged go.
It was already pretty tattered, and now it's tattered and muddy and drenched. It's a mess.
I swear, God damn it. I swear, I need a new one. He's still looking it over.
I think Toussaint probably would have done a circuit of the tavern, made his way through the crowd, get a feel for the kind of shenanigans that happen in places like this, and come back to the table after that with a pretty big smile on his face. I love this place already.
So meanwhile, I guess I'll turn toward Aldrin, who is checking out that notice board. The Black Rack Wall of Notices has several papers of notes. I guess I'll just share this.
Oh.
Look at these quests. I guess.
I don't know about you guys, but that flaming sword looks kind of awesome.
Oh yeah.
Wait. What?
So there's one about the owner of someone's looking for owner of book. It showed up in my bag on the trip to Stormreach. It's from Gwyber of Kornberg. I need to find the owner and return it. We'll pay a small amount, probably 50 gold total. One talking about a rainbow dragon down in the Skyraker Claws, which are near the desert, actually. There's reward for flaming swords. I saw 2 flaming swords seen in a tunnel deep beneath the city. Give you a hefty reward if one of the flaming swords is brought back intact. 5,000 apiece.
Dude.
Yeah, so
there's-
Alden's
there's
just kind of
yeah.
checking these out.
Yeah, I
making
want to go over the lot of them really quick. There's one talking about the executions this week. A list of convicts being executed on SAR, which is Saturday equivalent at the end of the week. Most of them are rapes, thefts, and murders. The one that stands out is a drow. Does not speak common, but is definitely guilty. Spoken to him in his language. He's definitely guilty, and he's being. It's written in a jovial tone, considering it's about executing people. It's like, come bring the whole family to Marketplace. This SAR, Baraka's 21st.
What is this? Waterdeep? Jeez.
That's
I mean, the water is getting pretty deep now with the amount of rents falling.
Stop this.
There is
Look, if I don't make a cover band joke, I've got to make like 5 other bad jokes to make up for it.
I thought you were gonna make an all-star reference.
Yeah.
Water might be deep, but it's not warm yet. At least. So there's also one that's like, we found there's gold in them there hills. Right, Titan's Teeth, just a stone's throw south of Stormreach. A lot of gold in those, but we were ran off by some elemental creatures, and we need some protection there and to exterminate them. We get a hefty reward, a share of the gold. There's also one about lizard folk that were using hang gliders to attack Last Chance. They stole a bunch of chickens, but the lizard folk are wanted dead or alive because we can't be having that. Matthew
No
just
one
died.
was hurt. No one was hurt.
Chickens.
For my fucking chickens, bruh.
Yeah, they stole
fucking
25 chickens. That's a lot of chickens.
That's a lot of chickens. But we're talking about a couple gold here, yeah. Actually, hold on. No surprise. I'll look it up.
No, wait. This is Matthew still. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm not sure if Matthew was even here. I think he died.
Oh no.
Matthew?
All around me of a million.
Oh boy.
faces.
All right, well, there's that. Let's focus on everybody else. So Creep is with Annika and is drying her stuff. Annika is doing what?
Oh, goodbye, Matthew. Keeping quite close to the fire and like also to Creep because this place is very crowded. Not really saying much, not interacting with him. Just having a look around. Taking
I
the
don't know
people.
this guy. I don't know who this is. Just no idea.
I just happened to be near him. Don't think into that.
Yeah. But you do see that Dala and Ebony are sitting at a table, with Tranquility, of course. You can crane around looking between people's legs, see Aldrin over looking at something. You can tell because of the red wool onesie. You could spot that onesie from a mile away.
That onesie is the best.
I don't
thing
know
I've
why
ever
I'm so
seen.
familiar with it, but okay.
What is everyone doing? Ebony, I know, is sitting with Dala. She's drinking and
Tranquility.
having a
Right.
good, and Tranquility.
And I thought Toussaint just came back. Yeah.
Yeah, Toussaint comes back from his trip around the bar, and you got a glass of warm cider waiting for you.
So, what is the plan here? We've arrived, and somehow we've got to get to the middle of a desert.
Well, let me. It's gonna be a trip. It's gonna be a trip.
We're looking
Yeah.
for a Thrycreen who calls himself a king. What does a
Yes.
Thrycreen even look like?
She looks around and then points at the one that is still dancing with some goblins. It's like there's 3 goblins, and they got a hold of 3 of its arms and have like spun it around in a circle, and it's like barely keeping its balance.
Oh, I was thinking it'd be great. It was like doing the Kang hand or something, but okay.
I'm gonna share this.
Oh God.
Speaking on just a practical manner, how much is this going to cost us to get there?
Well, it depends on the way that we go about it, actually. Add several of these markers. I'm gonna zoom in here. She reaches into her bag, which was also made of waterproof leather, and brings out a map of Zendrick. You can recognize the continent immediately. It's much smaller than the one she had in her room, though.
I'm kind of questioning who decided to put all these really big hexagons on her map.
This is for
I think
my
that's for
benefit.
travel.
That's for my benefit.
I don't
Each
think-
each hex
I'm sorry.
is 50 miles.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Phoenix Basin is looking better and better every second.
Trust me, it's not that much shorter of a trip than
Oh,
anything
God.
else.
I imagine trying to book a passage through this basin is going to be incredibly expensive.
Yes. Now let's. She takes out a piece of like charcoal, like in the shape of a. It's like a pre-wrapped one. It's like wrapped in cloth, and pre-packaged, condensed. It's basically a chalk pencil. And she starts drawing on this map. It's not in full color like this one is. It's just a rough topographical map. Well, the way I see it, there are 3 ways that we can get to Menectaroon from here. One of the main ways would be to to charter a boat, go up around, up. I gotta start over. Go up around the Skyfall Peninsula, following the coast because it's much safer to follow the coast than to not. Follow. And this, I believe, is the normal route. So this is miles times 10 for the actual miles. Yeah.
Ugh.
And with that, we can reach it in about, I think it's somewhere a little under 3,000 miles in that path. With that, costing about normal rate for ship travel, most people charge about $1 a piece. Probably expect to pay double that per person.
So we're expecting 2 silver a piece per mile. Is that what you said?
Yeah, about there.
Oh my god.
So
I started
about,
looking at my points.
about 600 gold per person. Now, between Lady Delorth and the university, I was given about 1,000 gold to cover expenses. That's not going to cover it, of course.
No.
No, I think not.
Plus, not to mention the fact that we would be dropped off in the middle of a desert, would need supplies to reach, I assume, is Melakat city?
Melkat is it's a ruin found about 10 years back, I think.
So we'd be dropped off in the middle of desert without any kind of access to supplies.
I think there's a small dock, maybe 30 people live there at most.
Alright.
And then we'd have to travel through the desert. This is forgetting the travel through the desert itself.
I know.
Oh boy. We need a guide. That's what we need.
Oh, yeah.
What's the other path?
Any way we go, we'll need a guide. I can't bring us across the desert like that. Another way is
Give
to.
yourself 2 little cousins.
Oh, trust me, the people of this land know it a lot better than I ever could. there is the Traveler's Curse to worry about, where people can be misdirected and lose track of time, and could be lost for years out there if we're not careful.
I have lived my life this way.
The other course is to take one around the peninsula and head up the River Hydra. It goes through. We wouldn't go through there exactly, but we would. Once we get to the marsh, we would switch over to a river barge and head upstream. Yeah, so that's. We would stop at the ruins of Thargon Dock, which I believe has some establishment there. Then we would have to cross through a mountain pass through the fanes of Argarok on foot until we finally arrive in the desert itself.
Is that 2,000 miles on foot?
No, it's actually quite. It's more like 500 miles on foot.
And that's just getting to the desert, not to mention all the mountains and the other things that we'd have to avoid.
The last option would be to go by foot entirely. It would definitely cost less. Oh, looks like Rob2E is auto-hosting us. Rob2E is a big Fantasy Grounds streamer. Thanks to Code Crusher, Mufflen HD203, and Nobuo Jason for the follows. I greatly appreciate you. I love you and cherish you.
You're awesome.
I mean, you're going a bit too thick there, Rick. It's like, play hard to get for a bit.
No.
No, they must know his love.
The last option is to go by foot, pay a guide, and or maybe join another caravan. Probably go past Throne Gate Ruins to Last Chance, past the Obsidian City, past the Titan's Teeth, which is a small mountain range, a few hundred miles south of here. Would then probably follow the northern shore for a while before cutting into the jungle and crossing over through the Sun Pillars. Now, either way, this trip is going to take about 2 months.
The longest route is almost 3,000 miles. And the shortest one is just under 2,000, and that's not even the desert.
Yes.
We can't afford this.
No, we're going to have to get some money, especially if you said you only had, what, 1,000 gold?
I have about 1,000, yeah.
I only have
need a lot
300.
more than that.
Well, it's not hard to make a fortune if you have certain skills, and if Dolores hadn't made sure that you had a set of skills, then she wouldn't have sent you here.
True, but we are a bit on a timeline. I imagine that our adversaries are none too pleased with their failures with whatever they were attempting to do with the Silver Flame, and will now be looking to acquire these artifacts as well.
Well, just consider that it will probably take them about as long to get there as it will us.
Yes, but they also have magical means and aren't exactly mortal.
Oh, I'm sure it will be fine.
Tell me, you've studied Zendrick quite a bit. Is magical travel through Zendrick difficult or dangerous?
Very much so. Very few airships come down from Corvair, and any travel through Zendrick is going to be subject to the curse.
That may work to our advantage.
But it could also work to our disadvantage. We could be gone for years.
So could the Rakshasa, that's what I mean.
If we do travel by either the second or travel through land at all, we want to get the services of a Thri-Kreen. For some reason, they're not affected by the curse like we humans and elves are, and Warforged.
I agree.
Look at the Thri-Kreen.
No, considering we're going to find the king of Thri-Kreen, it might be useful to have one of them who speaks the language with us.
So at this point, Creep and Annika probably made their way over to the table.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
And Toussaint's there if you guys have any input.
We figured our road paths ahead of us, as I kind of point at Dala's drawings.
This is about the only ways I know there.
In a world full of magic, we do not know any shortcuts. I kind of make a who the fuck?
Well, even a straight path, it's about 1,500 miles to the desert itself.
Was that Matthew?
Hey,
Matthew's back.
Yay!
Lord.
Tales of your
Aldrin,
death have been greatly exaggerated.
Aldrin tripped over that dog again.
Fucking destroyed his route.
So if you wanna connect back to Fantasy Grounds, and you can see this glorious map with its terribly long ways forward.
Oh, buddy, let's do this.
Talking 2,000 to 3,000 miles, mate.
Yeah.
I think we can, in a day.
Our shortest route is twice what the... No, it's not. Our shortest route is as long as the Proclaimers would walk. I think I made that joke last week.
You
Yeah,
did. Well,
Damn
it's,
it.
it's
It's
even
never not-
better the second time. Like a dirty pre.
Well, to be
If-
fair, our shortest route is entirely on foot. Even if we got horses, I don't think we'd move quite as fast as if we went through the first or the third route.
Well, you have to consider the taking the boat around through the Phoenix Basin. I think it's about a 60-day trip to get to the desert itself.
Well-
The land over just ocean or just land would take about 80 days, but we could speed that up a bit if we were to go a bit faster. We could probably shave a few weeks off of that, if we are willing to risk it. And then the final one would be probably somewhere in between. I've got to carve off, let's say 2350 at boat range, and then 400 by walking range. Okay, that would actually probably be the longest.
So, the one that goes through the Phoenix Basin was the most expensive at around 600 per person.
Minimum. Not counting a guide, not counting
Right.
supplies. That's simply the pass for fare.
What and what about the one through the Hydra?
The one through the Hydra would cost us a pretty penny to get there. It's just 50 times 0.2, something like 450 gold a person.
Oh,
I wonder if we found. I wonder if there's
Not counting guides and supplies and all that.
Right. So, in all actuality, we're looking closer to the 600 person there, plus like what another 800 for a guide or
That-
something.
those.
That wouldn't be an exaggeration. They'd probably charge by the day. We could probably expect about 5 gold per day for that. Probably
Months.
a gold a day, or probably 2 gold a day when we're not actually doing any work.
Wow. It seems no matter what route we take, we're in need of money.
Yes, a lot of it.
And this is where I come in, because I did see, and I point over towards the board, a curious notice put by someone. They said they could give 10,000 gold pieces, Galifar, sorry, to anyone. Sorry?
Did you just say 10,000 Galifar?
10,000 Galifars. And We wouldn't even have to travel. Apparently, this place they talk about is right below the city.
What would we have to do for this?
Oh, I think it's just find a flaming sword, I want to say.
Too.
Sounds interesting.
Well, hold on. If you're seriously considering this, I have a bridge I'd like to sell you back in Brayland.
Look, no. Evan, do not take me for a fool. I know this sounds a bit wild, but I don't know. We're in this different place. I assume people have different wants. If a person is looking for flaming swords, they must have money to back it up.
Well, either that or it's some elaborate scheme to lure people down into the depths of wherever they say this sword is.
I think we would be smart enough to, even if we did take on the job, we could just scout ahead, maybe see what's up, and then we'd
I-
be able to.
Are you saying you guys are afraid of going in underground tunnels?
Look, after
your-
one day,
your
I would be
group-
scared of everything.
In Dungeons and Dragons?
I mean, if the other option is a dragon, I don't want that either.
Yeah.
I think the obvious point being is, look, I do not doubt that reward sits up there. I simply doubt that. It sounds like a trap, to be perfectly honest.
It does, but I think we are, I look at everyone and I kind of. Who's at the table, sorry?
All of you.
All of it. So I kind of put my hand on the shoulder of whoever's next to me. For comedic effect, if Annika's there. And then we are in need of money, and I think all of you are so strong and tough that even if it is a trap, we'll be able to escape. But the opportunity for 10,000 would solve all our problems, wouldn't it?
I may have learned some things in our last little bit of recovery. I believe I could get us there very quietly.
Really?
If it is a trap, why not?
Well, were there any other things that on that board that promised money of any type? That
There was a few, but they were a bit iffy. A few of them talked about killing, whether it be elementals or these lizard people, and I think that is bad taste. And it, of course, did not pay as much as this flaming swords, so they're irrelevant, really.
How much were we looking at of those?
I think like 50 gold, and the other one didn't really have a price. And they involved traveling, which I figured was not in our interest.
wait a minute, were any of them on our path though?
It depends what path you chose, but they would be on our path if you went through the land instead of crossing the ocean.
Well, to be frank, I don't know. I think I have to bow to your judgment on this. I simply don't know what we can do with the money we have right now.
Very little.
That is true.
Oh, come on. You guys have money.
We have like 100 gold.
Yeah, I'm just a liar.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we have not enough to hire a guide and such. All right, well,
You guys look to have about 1,400 gold between the lot of you.
That's pretty.
It's not bad.
Could be better, right?
Could be better. You can always have more gold. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Annika, what do you think of this?
What? Think of what?
Were you not paying attention at all? The swords, the flaming swords, whatever, the 10,000 Galifar for 2 fiery blades or whatnot.
Oh, right. I mean, if it sounds too good to be true,
I'm sure it might be dangerous.
do we
Sounds
know who?
Too good to be true. It's clearly true.
who's offering? Like, do you think if we could meet him, maybe that might help?
That seems reasonable. Who is offering this?
That's a good question. It's not notated by. Let's see. I'm not. You're not sure. It's the name of somebody. I'll get you a name later. Dala doesn't recognize it.
Okay.
No,
Can I go
we-
to the bartender? Can I go to the bartender and like point at the notice and be like, "Where do I find this person?"
Before you go, Dala. Well, it does have like an address on it.
Oh, well, that's even better. Never mind.
Dala does say, like, well, with the money we have now, we probably could go after the land route, but it would be the longest of the bunch, I think.
I'm fine with this.
It would be one of the most exciting, though.
Agreed.
I
we
don't
could
know.
use
Go ahead.
that money. We could use that money though.
We could use flaming swords.
Kind of nod.
Why don't we meet this person and see what we think, and then decide then? Does that sound reasonable?
Sure, that sounds. I mean, that sounds smart. Smart.
Well, whatever you do, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to get some people together with the money that Dolores and the university has given me. Make sure that we have everything we need for it. Now that we're here, be sure to... I didn't have Lady Dolores give you a sending stone. Did I?
Ah,
I didn't.
She said she was going to, but she didn't actually.
She said she
Yeah.
was going to. Dala reaches into her bag and pulls out a small, shiny, well-polished stone. On it featuring... Let me look up a thing. On it is a carving of a cockatrice, which you know to be the sign of the dragon-marked house Civis. And she gives it to the nearest person, who's probably Tranquility. This
Reaches over the table to snatch it.
No, you thief. I know exactly what you do with that.
roll a
Tranquility.
dex. Roll a dex.
Lady said she would give me her digits.
Roll a sleight of hand against Tranquility.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I think we know who's going to win that.
Give me the opposed.
With a 1, I rolled a 17. Oh.
You go to snatch it away and
Wow.
like you dump over your cider and barely manage to catch it as Ebonier swipes it off of the table.
That's his teacher phone confiscation skills.
Yes, exactly.
I will keep it, thank you, and I put it into the bag of
We'll
holding.
get it back at the end of class.
You will keep it for now. Alright, this is fine.
Right. I'm gonna put it in the party sheet, and then you can grab it from there.
Sure.
You've got to make an IRL dexterity check.
Which one
Go,
is-
you earned that. Jesus.
oh yeah, they're down now rolls.
A pair of stones.
No, it's just one stone.
Its description is a pair of stones.
It's a stone.
It's ID.
This is not accurate.
But they're having a great time.
They are having a great time. I love that I can't identify this image because Fantasy Grounds. So to prevent piracy of the images, they don't let you edit them or make copies or anything. However, it also means you can't edit them at all, so you can't make any marks. You can't draw on them, you can't set up a grid, and you can't identify them.
That is annoying.
That
It is.
is stupid.
It is.
Yeah.
It's yeah. All right. So yeah, you've got the sending stone. Lady Dolores has the other one.
Great.
But still better than roll 20, right?
Yes, actually, still
Yes.
still hold by that.
And if you want a loot crate,
Oh,
yeah.
Fantasy Grounds, by the way, just $10 a month for the DM, and you can play on this with all of the automation and campaign management stuff that this provides.
Hey.
Support them, because there are literally 5 people working for that company and making this.
Wow,
Is it only
really?
5 people?
There's the 2 owners who work full-time, 2 full-time employees, and a part-time employee. And I think the part-time employee is Robert Aducci, who runs their social media stuff now. So, yeah, there's
Do they
4.
want to employ me part time?
Orion, didn't you make a joke earlier, Orion, that you wanted to go work for them to get Unity out?
Yes, just so I could get Unity out.
Then send them an email.
Hey, here's free work.
All right.
Free.
So we are gonna go on a break because I am starving.
Yeah, I am
we'll
too,
be
man.
back. We'll be back in
Thanks,
about
man.
10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, enjoy this splash screen, I guess.
By the way,
Lovely.
Orion,
Yes.
you said you mess with Unity, right?
No. If needed, I could probably figure out how to mess with it.
I actually use Unity. I'm currently working on developing my own video game in it.
Oh, nice. Maybe you can help get Fantasy Grounds out faster.
You do it.
You could be the one.
Maybe, who knows?
Dean, if I
Right
see-
now I'm having a really difficult time with art, though. I am not an artistic person, and art is kind of the first step to my game. At least
Did
having some
somebody say
basic
art?
assets.
You should pay Dimmy.
Yeah.
Commission
Do
art.
you,
I like,
Dimmy,
I
do
like
you do-
money.
Dimmy, how good are you at pixel art?
I was about to be mean there. It's not a lot of art for us, so I really don't want to be because it's awesome.
Like, I need tile
define
sets, like-
pixel.
Um,
I'm just joking. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
going for.
like, if you can,
I don't know. I've never done it.
like right now, what I'm desperately in need of is like tile sets, flooring, walls, character icons, portraits of weaponry, things like that.
Okay. We'll see. that I'm a little less confident about. I mean, portraits, sure, that's fine. Weaponry, okay, but pixel art, yeah.
Yeah, tile sets is one of the hardest parts because I'll need things like grass.
We can discuss
stove.
this after the stream. I'm gonna go.
I'm only
fill up
discussing
my-
it right now because we're on break.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna go fill up my
I'll be
drink.
back in a moment. I might get something.
I was hungry, but then I just filled myself with liquid, and I'm fine now.
Was it liquid alcohol?
I mean, yeah, but that's not the
Huh.
point.
Yeah, okay.
It's how I get into character.
There you go. Drink to your crotchety.
How was your time away then?
Greece.
I assume it was good.
fantastic. Yeah, Greece was fantastic. It's very beautiful. Very, very gorgeous. Love it. Would definitely recommend going.
Plus, you get like all the money, right? Because their economy is still shit, I think.
Their economy is still shit, but they are on the euro, and the places you go generally are still touristy, so they still have pretty. You're still paying for it.
Mm.
You know, their economy may be shit, but their tourist industry knows that
Yeah.
you're gonna pay. So
I was planning to go away with some friends later in the year, but like we were going to go to somewhere in Europe, and the euro is like you're barely getting any decent kind of exchange rate at the moment now in England. So because our currency's tanked recently, I wonder why.
I would have no idea why that would happen.
I mean, it's almost like people made a decision to leave a large economic group. I wonder if that might have
Yeah.
happened recently.
Not only that, but it might be something as to a certain government official is talking about the hardest exit possible from that large economic group. Politics. Too much. Too much.
I stay away from it mostly. I'm just mean.
I try not to talk about it on stream. I feel weird now because I'm part of the Patreon stuff, so I saw the homebrew content, and I was like, God damn it! Now I kind of know what your cloak does, but I don't want to know what your cloak does.
So I'm super excited.
That's cool. Just act surprised. I trust that you'll be able to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
'Cause
Alright,
it's
But
gonna
you guys
be-
still don't know. I still haven't told you my story, and I'm not going to. Aha.
Aha.
Oh, just keeping them keen.
Did you see what I said in the thing where I was like, Ebonir just gets too drunk and he never actually says what happened?
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw that. That was
Yeah.
great.
that sounds about right. I
Yeah.
think everyone's a bit sort of muddled now in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, I think Toussaint and Aldrin are probably handling it pretty well, and Tranquility and Creep don't really care. So it's just us.
Yeah.
It's just you. Okay, so it's funny. I have like one great picture in my head for what I want to do if I do the recap for this episode.
Is it Ebonir and Aldrin just in their underwear by a fire?
I was thinking it'd be the whole party, kind of just in their underwear around the table, except for Dala. It'll just be great. Because apparently you have some weird fan on my deviant art who really liked the fact that you were a goblin girl. Like, why? What is the thing?
I mean, I can tell you why, but you probably won't want to hear it.
No. I totally get the short sex thing.
I mean,
What did I just come back to?
I was commenting how one of the first people who liked and favorited
Okay.
Atticus thing was a guy who his entire favorites page is nothing but girls who are either completely stark ass naked or weird, like just females of all races and species. So yeah. So
he just
that-
likes the diversity in the media today.
Look. There's nothing wrong with goblins. I like goblin girls as much as the next guy. Okay, that's a
I don't
lie.
think there's a way that you can spin that to not be weird.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like you like that, but I mean. Anyway, I just dug myself.
That was
a grave.
quite.
I'm
I
going
commend
to,
you on your
just
mumbling.
shoot myself
there.
in the
Just-
fucking face and just die now.
Just stop.
I'm just gonna die.
Just
I'm sorry.
stop speaking. Everything will
I
turn out
just got-
okay.
I'm glad Bitters is playing the womanizer in this campaign, because
Oh,
at least he's going after all the other women.
I just got back. Did I walk into a train wreck?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah, come watch the train wreck. Speaking of a train
I-
wreck, I hope you're not planning on traveling by rail next year.
I was going to make a very self-depreciating joke, but you saved me.
Don't worry. I beat you to the fucking punch.
I mean, again, I thought it was a wonderful train wreck.
Oh God, what am I doing? All right.
I mean, if
Same.
we're on about, I can't. No,
No, do it. Do it.
I was just gonna say, if we're on about beating, then that guy from DeviantArt has you both beat, because he was beating it first.
Okay.
Oh,
I want you to blame Matthew for that.
I'm sorry, viewers.
No, wait, are we still live? Shit. Oh no.
I don't know. I just imagine like the amount of effort a guy takes to just like collect a porn collection. You know what I mean? Can you just imagine that?
Hey,
So-
some people are
Look-
very bored.
Yeah, this reminds me of something, and I apologize to everyone who hears this on the stream, and Rick, if you might want to just cut this bit out.
Yeah.
But
I ain't cutting nothing fucking out.
okay, great. One of my friends once told me about the time his I can't remember who, one of his family members found his like 87 gigabyte CV folder.
Oh.
That's what happened. What happened? Give me the aftermath.
I think it was just awkward for a while. I think it was one of those situations where they realized what they had walked into and just quit out, and then the next time they were like, "So."
For some reason, I expected it to go like double awkward, and the father to be like asking for sources or whatever.
Oh.
No,
Oh
That's
god.
no. I don't think any of my friends' parents know what the internet is.
Really?
What is the internet?
What are birds? We just don't know.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time that you're here, Rick?
Oh, that's gonna
It's
be in my
because
head all night.
he's playing a gnome and he has that talk to small animals thing.
Mm.
It's their best class feature.
Yeah. I always thought that was the ability of Toussaint, the ability to seduce birds.
God,
I think
damn
that's
it.
only a British
Oh.
joke.
I get it. I mean, it's probably not as funny as it to me as it is to you, but I see what you did there.
Hey, that's all that matters. Three out of 6 or 7. I'll take it.
All right.
So hang on, I need to do a thing.
But no, that's just so far. That's one of the thoughts is that, and maybe the teleporter room. But I think it's gonna be everyone so far is naked, or at least in their undergarments around the table, and the teleporter room so far.
I mean, not to screw with your ideas, but like Annika's clothes are fine. It's just her face and like the area around like her head and neck that's screwed because she's got a and also legs. So
Well-
yeah,
well-
never mind. Do that.
Well, come on, fan service, dude. We gotta rig him in somehow. Right?
Gotta get
We
that
gotta get
one
those
guy.
deviant out of use. That's dirty. That's awful.
So Matthew, you were talking about you know that old British thing where people talk about pulling a
That-
fit bird, and I just can't help but imagine this.
Oh, jeez.
What's
That is a fit bird.
that is a very fit bird. I mean, enough drinks down your neck, totes.
Them beer goggles. Some people have beer goggles, other people have beer VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Bird
They look really
goggles?
nice.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What looked really nice?
New rugs that Mom bought. They actually go really good at the front door.
Do they match?
New
What,
what?
what sort of design are they?
Oh,
now?
Do they match the drapes?
God damn it. Once
Great
again, I
boys.
apologize to anyone who's listening to this. This entire break has just been,
Bad.
yeah.
Yeah, awful.
On the bright side, Rick can no longer judge me for anything Toussaint does.
It's true.
You can't stop me.
All
That's
right,
also
fair. Rick should no longer judge me.
Why isn't there a train wreck equivalent of the Hindenburg so I can quote that and sound really smart?
I mean, you always.
My
sound
God,
smart
the
to us.
inhumanity was that it?
Yeah, that's the Hindenburg line.
Wait, was that from like the live recording or whatever? Or...
That was the radio announcer, I think.
Oh damn!
I have 11 complication points.
Holy crap.
I believe that's 10 too many.
Oh wait, how many plot points are we still waiting on from people?
got mine.
Bitters, jolts, and did you?
I've got mine. I've still got mine. Yeah.
Okay, bitter jolts and Matthew have plot
Alright.
points still.
All right, I know what I'm spending mine on once they're spent.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not spending mine.
You got it.
Yeah, so bitters, you're letting the side down. You're being one of the constant. No, I suppose it was jolts last time as well.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time too. I couldn't think of anything.
Hey, for the record, the only reason I'm thinking right now is because I have an idea where I want to take this. And I'm not sure if I want to go down the light route or the very dark route.
Dark route, sorted
Dark
it.
route.
Always
Dark.
go edgy.
Oh, it's
Always
good.
It's
go
my
edgy.
favorite Dark Souls area. That's a lie.
I mean, Crash Bandicoot's a cool game.
This whole game.
I haven't actually ever seen a review calling it like Dark Souls, but I really hope they're out there. Just because,
Yeah. That's
oh my god, it's so hard now. No, you just got bad at games.
yeah. I actually really love that game on like the PS1. Like I never played games really much before, and I'd come home from school and just like play it for hours and hours.
All right. Are we ready to go?
Yes.
Sort of.
Sorry.
Okay.
Should we do a roll call?
Jolts, Orion, Demi.
Yep.
I got my corn dogs and ranch. I'm good.
That sounds very American.
It is. Demi, Bueller.
Fry.
I've been muted and screaming at the top of my lungs this whole time.
Don't worry, Matthew. Next week I'll be making my deep fried hot dogs.
Deep fried hot dogs.
Deep
I don't
fried.
understand.
Say that.
Isn't that
I
just?
meant-
Isn't that just
I did
corn
that on-
dogs?
Don't
Yeah,
do that.
pretty
No,
much.
don't-
Yeah, I'm
don't-
joking.
Don't, you're
It's-
wrong. It's deep fried Twinkies, man. Deep.
Oh yeah.
Fried Twinkies.
So
I
so
mean, go to Scotland, get a deep fried Mars bar, and then you're good.
Those are
Mr.
awful.
Mr.
I've not had
Doyfam
one.
wants a D6 roll on a 1, 2, 3. He'll do nothing. On a 4, 5, 6, he'll pay money to get rid of the complication point.
Excuse me.
No,
Excuse me. Are
Doyfam.
you me? Are
You
you
spent
me,
too much
Dimmy?
money.
I don't
No,
think so. I got a 3.
He asked me to roll it.
Oh.
Oh,
That is a
Doyfam.
3.
Damn.
what does that mean? Is
Nothing.
yes?
That means he's doing nothing. He's going to keep all those complication points. He was going to get rid of like 4 of them. Damn
All right,
you.
all right, so we're back.
No,
Well,
no,
you
so-
guys are still sitting around this this table drinking your cider. It's pretty good. It's not a fruit you recognize. It's some sort of fruity cider, but you're not. You can't place the taste.
It's
But
a
it's-
fucking pine squad, isn't it?
It's not. It's not a pine squat. It's probably a pine squat.
Oh, that's an old reference.
It's
Dollar. Dollar, where do we get a cloak like yours, the waterproof kind?
Well, we can go to the marketplace after the storm clears up.
How long will that be?
Who knows?
Hours, days.
As Darla says that in a cheerful way, Alden kind of laughs and says, "You're really loving this place, aren't you?"
Oh, I love
Nothing quite
Centric.
like
It's full of so much wonder and mystery. There's the entirety of the past just waiting to be uncovered right outside its walls and beneath.
Why don't you stay here forever? Then? I mean, like, as in, why aren't you based here?
Because
University.
it's still pretty it's still pretty volatile here.
Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, just one look at the sky shows that.
I mean the people. Stormreach is it's a town where you make your own justice, and I can't very well defend myself that well.
What do you mean? Everyone here seems so peaceful and friendly and
Well,
kind.
that's just because Brick over there will throw anyone out that causes a fuss.
Oh, I guess that's one way.
So, are you saying that the moment we step outside of this tavern, we could be encountered ruffians of the sort, and there'd be no law to stop it?
Well, more or less. There are militias that operate in the city, but most of the time you have to be sure to defend yourself at a moment's notice. It's not all that bad. It's clearly an exaggeration, but it can be quite dire. I'd settle for the stability of Moorgrave University over this place.
That makes sense. That's a smart decision.
This makes me feel even less confident about this flaming sword.
Well,
I'm really not sure about those flaming swords. I haven't heard anything of that sort, but Stormreach has a history going back tens of thousands of years. Built on a giant city built on top of another on top of a demon city. And atop the demon city was built a drow and humanoid, and there was even a Thrycreen civilization that built over the city at one point.
absolutely ancient. That is just marvelous, isn't it?
But most of them met a dire and early end from internal strife. Say that this
Exactly.
place is cursed, but this Stormreach has been around for 200 years now, and it shows no sign of falling apart.
Uh, can you explain something to me? Who are the 12?
Okay, you would know that that's the dragon-marked houses.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's the association of the 12 dragon-marked houses,
So,
where they come together to work to expand their influence and such.
so is the city run by them?
No. If you ask her that, like, well, the 12 are the dragon-marked houses, of course. But they don't run it. The Stormreach is actually run by the Stormlords, the descendants of the pirates who put together the brigands of the Skyfall Peninsula and worked with and managed to get one of the old kings of Galifar to agree to recognize the city as its own sovereign place outside of Corvair's control.
That is no little feat.
I think one of them is actually still alive, a dwarf. He's getting on in age, but oh, you don't want to cross paths with him.
I can only imagine why. I mean, the temperament of dwarf and the descendants of piracy. That is a mean mixing pot if I've ever seen one. A wonderful mixing pot.
It is backpedaling. It is mean. It is wonderful. You're doing it again.
I don't know. Is these
Words
the
are
best
not good
words
with us.
describe how I feel about things sometimes.
I think I'm getting a feel for it.
And I get a feel for you every day to something. And I do like what I get. I feel.
Can we not have this conversation while everyone's in their underwear?
You suddenly bring it. You suddenly bring it to the attention of. You suddenly bring it to the attention of Dala, who suddenly realizes it again, and she starts washing and just drowns herself in cider again.
Oh my god.
I imagine Aldrin's like
the
one of those
nerdy-
old men in like gyms or showers where they just don't give a
Yes.
fuck.
Yes, exactly. Like in the change room, he's just butt naked and it's like he don't care. He's letting hang loose, everything.
I do not see a problem with this.
Yes, me and him are completely naked. Doesn't seem to be a problem.
There is a slight difference.
You two are warforged. You two are.
I'm giving the equivalent of like a cheeky smile, but it's just very
Do
straightforward.
you hear? Dala gets up, and people are sort of quieting down, and you can see outside that a beam, some sunlight, is finally filtering in to the tavern.
Finally. So, are we all agreed that we should at least go visit this crazy sword person and see if this is for real or not?
I think we should. I mean, what are we looking at? 10,000 gold?
10,000 gold. Think of that. Think of how, we could accomplish our goal with that.
Well, you still haven't. A lot of you still haven't decided which way you want to go forward.
Well, I think for now, I'll look at the others. Does the Hydra seem to be the fastest route?
It's the Phoenix Basin, isn't it?
I too would vote
The-
for the
the-
Hydra.
The Phoenix Basin is the most expensive route, but the fastest. The Hydra is sort of a middle ground.
Question though, out of character, the Phoenix Basin is the fastest route to get us to the desert.
Yes.
But we don't know where we're going from there, so just
yes.
putting that out there.
Exactly.
So perhaps we should find a guide first before we make such a decision.
Not just.
Well, I agree, but I would have to say that the first route seems preposterous to simply spend all that time on a boat and then be dumped off in the desert. I think we'd perhaps be better off if we get to Melaket, where you did say there were some establishments, right?
Yes, but There are all manner of nomadic tribes and small settlements in the desert. It's not the empty wasteland that you might think it would be.
Oh.
We should really worry about the desert when we get there. It's probably the least of our worries right now.
I mean-
I agree.
Do we have to take a boat at all?
No, the third route here is all by land. But it
Yeah,
is the
I mean that's what I'm
longest.
thinking.
Right.
It
I
is
mean,
the longest, though.
Also cheapest, right? Saving some money.
I mean, if we all get horses, then it shouldn't be too long, right?
I think there's a
Horses
problem.
through a
with the horses.
jungle? I don't know if that's really going to give us much.
I mean, yes, that is true.
Though, to be fair, we're going to need an awful lot of supplies if we're going to go on a 2-month long journey. We'll probably need pack animals of some type.
I think camels. I mean, it's weird. There's the desert and then there's the jungles. And, I hear some people. Are camels a thing in Ebron? I just want to.
Camels exist, yes.
Do people use them as
Can that
pack
be the quote of the
animals?
session?
Yes, okay.
Camels exist, yeah. Just episode title, Rick.
Camels probably exist in that desert. Or in deserts
Okay.
in general.
So the thing is that we go to the desert, to the jungle, and then to the desert. The problem is that if we brought horses or any sort of pack animal, whether it be donkey or anything like that, to the desert, then we are going to have trouble.
Well,
We
presumably.
wouldn't have supplies by then, though. We'd have used them most.
I mean, if
Oh.
we are using our supplies by the time we get there, then our return trip would be very, very scary.
Well, that's
I-
why we get the Melicat, and then we've got stuff for coming back.
It's
They must
like
have
a-
stuff there.
I think that's the assumption. Tell me, Dahlia, along the land route, are there any towns or anything besides just Obsidian City here?
Well, Last Chance is the last one that's in Stormreach's influence. Obsidian City is actually one run by Drow. I'm not even sure if you'd be able to get in. They are
Oh.
pretty isolationist, although they're... You might be able to get something from them if you strike a deal with them. I'm always iffy about dealing with Drow. They're quite the strange people. He hates them because they're black.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like. I wonder what it would be like to have someone who's got a prejudice against a certain skin color. Rick.
God damn. Great.
Ugh. Ugh.
It
Are
ain't
you
easy
saying it
being
ain't easy
green.
being green? Oh.
Ah!
Ah!
Great minds think alike.
Wow.
I mean, once you go green, you see just that people are mean.
That's
Ah.
also true.
Ah.
All right,
my
enough
God.
puns.
No,
Decide
never enough fun.
decide on a way forward.
Annika's voting for land route.
All
I
right.
vote
All right,
either
let's-
Hydra
let's,
or land.
Let's vote. Everyone type out their vote in the chat. And then we'll
Which chat?
in the fantasy grounds. It's 2-2, 3-2.
Damn.
Well, that's
4-2.
4-2.
For being engineer over here, like, well, shit. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay. So
very
let's
well. I'm no longer the boss of you all, so yes.
You were the boss.
implications. So many implications. Oh, really quick. Doyfam donated $3 and gave Trister some inspiration, and is probably going to throw some terrible monster using the plot point that he bought last week. So expect
Yeah.
Oh boy.
expect to die.
All right.
So I've got 3 uses of inspiration now, yeah?
Only two, I think.
I had 1 at the start, and you said we all got 1, but I didn't know if that was including.
That was from Stone.
Oh,
And then-
cool. So I got 2. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doifam, whatever your name is. I don't know how to pronounce
However
it.
it's pronounced, we're sorry. Maybe I should just open
love
Google
it.
Translate and just
Just do it that way using. Okay, do it.
I want to attempt it, but I don't want to sound like I'm doing a terrible, like, racist accent. I'm not like you, Matthew, with your terrible French.
Hey, my
I'm only joking,
my
Matthew.
terrible
Your accent's great. I love Aldrin.
sure. Once you say it can never go back, Trista, I know what you mean.
Please stop.
Stop laughing.
It actually sounded pretty good.
Yeah, do you fam?
Yeah, it was exactly how it's still wrong because I don't know how to type and oh, I'm so sorry. You're so cool, and I'm just letting you down. So you guys have decided to take the land route. Let's go back to the old Stormreach map, and you guys can decide where to go from here. So the rain is finally let up. And people are starting to go out of the Black Rack, as it's called.
So, might I propose we get some cloaks,
Nice.
a place to rest, and then head to this crazy sword person?
Gonna be honest, cloak didn't really help me.
Well, you did better than we did. I'm still in my skinnies.
Likewise. Have you put on weight a bit there? You look pretty less lean, in a good way.
Healthy. The word is healthy.
Well, you know, my body's going through certain changes.
When a half elf
Can we just
turns-
call this session a wash?
you all got pretty washed earlier, so maybe.
Oh no, this is the meatiest. This is just
You guys just keep raining on your own parades. I don't see what's wrong with you guys.
Okay, but you shut up. You can't make any comments.
you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Ebonir
Keep
puts
this
on
up.
his
I'm just gonna storm out of here.
Oh.
You're clouding this session, Rick.
Oh.
I don't know, it's all feeling a little watered down now.
Oh, stop! Please.
Yeah, that's right. The quiet guy's getting in on this.
Can Ebonir
So
put
wait,
his
hang on.
clothes
You're saying you
now?
stole Rick's thunder?
Oh.
God damn it.
I'm not going to do it.
What an electrifying conversation.
Oh.
All
Why are
right,
you all
so
being so wishy-washy.
Oh.
He says
Ah.
going back on his word from literally 10 seconds ago. You were like, I'm not getting in there because I haven't thought of one yet.
I feel that the way forward is pretty cloudy right now, so we should really just
Go,
buckle down.
go.
Yeah.
Let's get to an inn and buy a cloak.
Okay. So Dala, I want to speak to Brick a bit more, but you guys can go out on your own. You should be able to navigate just fine. Just ask around for directions. People are friendly enough here. You want to go to Respite. It's not far from here. You have to go around past the walk. She points out the door and to the south.
Are you sure
Uh,
you cannot come with us, Darla? I would really appreciate the directions. Like,
I'll walk with you a bit of a ways, but then I'll head you off to Respite, and then we can. I have business to take care of here. I have to find a guide. I have to find some helpers. I have to find supplies. Oh, there's a lot of work going into
It's like-
Um, yes. I have a question. Do I notice anyone wearing the rings?
What rings?
The,
I don't know,
my,
Considering that the
the
rings
tra-
of mind shielding can actually turn invisible,
Are
probably
they
not.
are they invisible on Toussaint and Tranquility?
Yeah,
Tucson doesn't have one.
Oh, you don't?
Aldrin.
I think Aldrin had one.
Aldrin. Okay.
of course they are.
Yeah. Okay. So no.
so everyone's got them on invisible. Okay, never mind then.
Tucson has invisible gloves.
Aha!
God damn it.
Magic gloves.
He's a magic man.
Never mind.
I don't doubt that.
Sorry, man.
All right, so you guys are going to head out. Let me get rid of that. Whoever's that is, get rid of those. So the town is. Let me pull up a thing. It's weird to run this this town because I'm not super duper familiar as I was with the other place, wherever that was.
You don't even know its name.
Yeah, the other place. So you are in. Man, I should have taken note of that. Place in half. It's alive. So once you get out and the rain is cleared, you notice something particular about the walls around this area. Let me do a very bad drawing. Can you see the black lines? No?
Yes.
Oh yeah, just barely.
Yeah, just barely. It's terrible.
Can you make them?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh,
Loading a different map.
Yeah, no, it was the same map. I just added a mask to it. So the walls on this in Locksmith Square, you notice that they're covered in a reflective silver coating. And you can see that the wooden walls that you had passed by are in fact red, and there's a big open gate just across from the black wreck, leading into a big muddy pit, basically. You see people coming out and see people in the distance, and they look like they start to spar as you exit. Dala is going to lead you around the western part of that giant ring, going quite quickly because she knows where she's going. So, can I not hear you guys? Yeah, okay.
No, we're just not saying anything.
Oh, thanks.
Where are we going here? An inn, a cloak shop? What are we?
I'll direct you lot to the. Direct you lot to the inn that we'll probably be staying at, and I will go and find some bulk suppliers to supply us with things. You can buy your own particular things, but I have this money that needs to be properly accounted for. And she pats her she pats her pack, and it's got a big pouch of gold on it.
Wait, was that bulk supplies that you were talking about there?
Yeah, it's, rations, torches, pythons and rope, everything that you would need to get through a jungle expedition. I have to say, I look forward to seeing how the lot of you deal with. I just noticed Creep should have inspiration from earlier. Didn't mark it. I'm gonna slap you, Jolts.
I'm sorry. Wait, I have inspiration?
Yeah. Were we supposed to mark it?
Yes.
Because I didn't. Therefore, that's what I'm saying about having three.
When I say you have inspiration, you need to mark it.
Oh, okay.
Mark it. So we get more than 3.
You don't.
You don't. You just spend it.
Spend it.
By the way, since the rain stopped, and considering how risky
it's
this area,
it's still lightly drizzling.
Light drizzle isn't bad.
It's still quite dim from the clouds, but there's still light from the cloud, but it's like holes in the cloud letting through sunlight. You hear thunder far off in the distance, but it seems to have passed over the city finally.
All right. Because of the fact that most of the rain is gone, and because of how dangerous this area was described to be, we could literally get jumped, and if there isn't a militia nearby, we have to protect ourselves. I'm going to go ahead and inside my cloak and inside the ribs of my skeletal cage, I'm going to reform the spider and make sure that he's on hand when I need him.
Just put your spider in your heart.
Just throw him at someone and freak him out.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip. Throw familiar.
Because of my skeletal frame, I'm gonna have him crawling around inside of my rib cage.
That's terrible.
I dig it.
That's horrifying. I like it.
That's creep.
Have you guys seen the Cable Guy?
Oh god.
No.
Vaguely, a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Horrible.
But there's this one scene where
Oh,
Jim
the
Carrey's
movie. I thought you were talking about Larry the Cable Guy.
No.
I've never seen the
Uh,
Cable Guy movie.
Oh, well, there's the one scene where he's just like lying there talking on the phone, and this spider just crawls across his face, and I'm just imagining that right now.
Oh god.
So
Gross.
the walls of Locksmith Square are like 60 feet tall and covered with this reflective silver coating. It's not enough that, it's not a mirror finish, but with the color of that red ring, everything takes on this red hue from its reflection. You guys can see like your vague mirrored silhouettes as you walk next to the wall. People are starting to come out of buildings now that it is cleared. There's tons of puddles and mud. Not many of these streets just aren't paved at all, except for maybe some rocks for footing. The entire place is built. So to give some context for Stormreach is built in the remains of a giant city which has had multiple cities built within its remains. It is a place where statues have fallen and been quarried for material. It's a place where there are giant stone heads. I think I have an image, maybe. Is that the one that... Let's see. City... Oh. I'm going to share this. I have no idea what happened to the color on this. I'll find some better ones eventually.
No, it's funky. I like it.
It's a place where great monuments have fallen and been built on top of and into. It's a place where between the walls there are scaffolding of ship scaffolds and wood and rope bridges. It's a place where there are bits of earth and buildings. Oh yeah, it is a toe. Or it could be a thumb. It could be. He could have been thumbing up and then fell over. But yeah, it's a place where there are these floating buildings that have scaffolding coming down from them and connecting to other buildings. This is a city that is both in ruins but also very alive. It's very active. People coming in and out of houses built of sailboats taken apart and put back together. People where doors might just be like planks or even just some sailcloth over it. Birds fly everywhere as the storm from before begins to clear up even more as you walk through Locksmith Square to the Titan's Walk. So these circles here on the map are known as the Titan's Walk, and Dalla sort of explains it as you come around the corner and see these massive statues of giants. They are sort of all in various poses, rising just high enough for their heads to be glimpsed over the silver walls. It represents, they've got like one in what looks like armor for a giant, one in robes holding a book, which is, the book itself has like fallen apart. One holding a giant staff, one with a giant mace on his shoulder. These are statues of giants. They're like 70 feet tall.
Whoa.
Forming this procession down this way, leading into the greater city.
Ooh.
I wonder
That's
what.
so cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, you walk in their shadow. People are passing back and forth as it seems to be like one of the only ways into the city from this area. You definitely didn't enter the city as most people normally would. You can hear the ding 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 of boats somewhere beyond the walls, and you can hear the noises of the city coming through the passageway as you walk beneath the statues and into like a tunnel area. So under this archway, there's like tunnels going about. If you go north from here, if you go up there, and just follow the leftwards wall. You'll make it into Respite. Respite is where most people make their home. Let's see. I gotta find the name of the place. The Open Palm. Which one was it? Gotta look at the map. Open Palm. Open Palm. Open Palm Inn. It is next door to House Durasco Enclave, which is 22. So if you follow it and keep turning left. Sorry. If you follow the walls and then turn left, you'll find House Durasco's Enclave. It's an ancient building, been renovated relatively recently. But across from there, just down from there, you should find a small inn. You can tell because it's got like an arm with an open palm at the end of it. A lovely woman. Who is it? Hattie Millwood runs the place. She should still be there.
You know, you're very good with names. How long has it been since you last visited the place?
Probably only about a year.
Long tall. Still, shall we be off then?
What?
Rest. I said to everyone else, should we be off to respite?
Did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Let us go to this open palm and at least set up a room of some type.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I'll see you lot later then. And she bounds down into the crowd of people coming down this procession way. This area, the sloths, is just like a huge... It's probably like a very low income area. Yeah.
Is she headed in towards... Is that the slums here?
The place has slums, it seems.
Yeah, but why... Yeah, never mind.
It's not really slums. It's just like an assortment of many buildings, many of which are just constructed next to the walls. Like these areas are probably like walls that have been partially quarried for rocks or have fallen over time, and then they have houses built into and on top of them.
Do you remember this?
And okay, what do you guys do? What do you guys do?
I'm immediately walking towards the open palm.
All right.
Same. I'm going to follow Ebenezer for now until we can find the guy who wants to buy the fire swords.
Okay.
Same.
So
you know
what?
Anything about this? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Olden turns to Ebenezer says, so Ebenezer, do you know anything about this place? Anything you looked up in the library or anything like that?
Nothing specific in the library. Hold on 1 second, sorry. Nothing specific in the library, but just generally what I know from my own normal research generally. Let's make a history check.
So what happened to the giants here? I mean, these are statues of giants after all. I can't say I've ever seen one.
What do I know about the giants?
The giants. Okay, so the giant civilization fell probably 30 to 40,000 years ago. After they did some sort of magic that cursed and shattered Zendrick, but separated the realm of dreams, Dalcor, from the plane of Eberron.
Oh lord, would I know about that? By the way?
You can roll a history check too. It's not super uncommon knowledge.
I mean, like
It's like knowing like the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, sort of thing.
Wait, what?
I mean,
I mean, yeah, spoiler.
mean, like, would I know it just normally?
Just
because I went
just
to,
roll
like,
a history check.
Just roll the goddamn history check.
Roll the check.
What a
Roll-
roll check.
All right, you're the mystic with no.
Was there?
You
I
vaguely recall that the giants used to have a civilization until they were destroyed by the dragons after they did some terrible magic.
Oh no, not that part. I meant about like the realm of dreams and stuff. That's what I meant. Sorry.
For that, roll an Arcana check.
Oh, great.
Another intelligence-based check there, Matthew.
Can I roll one too for the Realm of Dreams?
Sure.
Hey. Hey.
All right, so yeah, you both know that the giants basically separated the Realm of Dreams so that the inhabitants couldn't invade Eberron anymore. But in doing so, destroyed and cursed Zendrick. They shattered this continent. You can see, like, if you look at the shape of Zendrick at the top, it's all shattered and just not. It's got a very strange shape to it. But after that, the dragons who had given the giants magic in the first place knew that the giants were going to attempt this again in some other form, and put a stop to that, and the giants fell. Yeah, they were. As for the specific giants of Stormreach, they met a more mysterious end during the Age of Giants. The place was abandoned by the end of the Age of Giants. You're not sure what happened. There was the story that Dala told you about the curse of Stormreach itself, where all of these civilizations that built on the land met an untimely and very early end.
I recount everything I know to Aldrin, but I don't talk about the Dalkir. Yeah, but I don't talk about the Dalkir.
There's nothing about the Dalkir there.
Oh, then I misheard you.
It's the Dalkor. Dalkor, the Realm of Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreamscapes, man.
It's very sad. You know, the giants got a little bit too big for their britches. And they're doing magics that they shouldn't. The dragons gave them what for?
That is a very sorry state of affairs, but can you imagine that? A battlefield between dragons and giants. Ugh.
I wonder what that's like.
It's almost like it's a theme in almost every D&D setting. One thing you do notice about Stormreach is that it's even more metropolitan of a city than Sharn is. Like in Sharn you run into elves and half-elves and halflings and stuff. Here you're running into like drow and thri-kreen and orcs and lots of men and elves and half-elves and all that lot. Not much in the way of goblins. You see a few goblins here and there, but not as many as in Sharn. But yeah, there's you do occasionally pass like one of those very tall humanoids, like 14 feet tall, a bit lumpy in appearance, if that makes sense.
Are those
sort
giants? Or do I know if those are giants?
They're not nearly as tall. Roll another history check, Mr. History Man.
Mr. Knows Things.
No, you bet they're not tall enough to be giants. They're probably half giants or something similar to that.
My deductive powers tells me that those are half giants.
What? A giant and a cat?
What? You think humans only have sex with other humans and elves?
And orcs?
And orcs?
I mean, just think of the proportions, man. That's not how it's supposed to work.
I'm 3 years
You know,
old. I need
this
an
is-
adult.
This is perhaps a conversation you should have with Toussaint. I am not quite interested in
Yes,
this.
let us have this conversation right now.
Let us go to the inn right now.
Loudly.
No.
So, this session's been a wild ride, man.
It's
So
been
you
a
guys,
while.
you guys pass underneath the giant, another giant set of walls through an archway dug into it, and then you see House Jurassico's enclave. It's several stories tall, sort of wood on top of much older stone construction. It does look very nice. It's got all manner of very well tended flowery vines growing on it. You've got some trees grown on some of the upper terraces that are still dripping water down. And despite the rain, it's like the area is filled with this lovely floral fragrance. It's such it's such a nice place to be. I believe Jurassico. I gotta look up. Joe Rasco runs Jurassico that runs the. Oh, they're the. I thought I'm thinking about House Calanda. And it is marked with the symbol of House Jurassico, which is a. What is that? Is that? Oh, I can't see. My eyesight is like gone. That's what happens when I run D&D.
Rick's eyesight.
The coat of arms is. I think it's. Oh, it's a. God, what is that? A hippogriff? A griffin? It's got the back end of a lion and the front end of an eagle.
Griffin.
Is it a griffin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hippogriffs
yeah,
have horse parts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, their symbol is a griffin, which they've got a magnificent statue and a fountain out front of it. In the halflings that are walking around near it are dressed in like orderly white outfits. You know that House Jurassico runs the Healing Guild, and this is probably the headquarters for it. But you walk around it and see this quaint little inn. It's 2 stories. It's got a sign next to it that has an outreached hand with the palm up, and it says the Open Palm Inn.
Well, I think this is the place. Otherwise, there's another open palm here. Should be it.
Shall we?
Let's
And
go.
Ebenezer kind of starts walking into the inn.
You open it up and you're hit in the face with like a frying pan. No, the smell of fresh baked pastries. It smells so lovely. And the moment you step in, you hear, "Oh, who is that? Who is that? Oh, I haven't seen you around here. It's such a pleasure to meet you." This sort of portly halfling woman with a frilly apron on, and of course clothes beneath that. Comes over. She's taken off oven mitts and set them on the counter. Grabs Ebenezer by the hand and drags him in to sit down at a small table near the window. "Please come in. Welcome to the Open Palm.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
please try a croissant." And she hands
yes,
him
lovely.
a freshly baked croissant from the counter. It's you grab it and it's like it's hot. You drop it on the table.
Little hot.
Oh, do be careful, please. Come in. Sit.
Yes. I have some friends outside who seem to have been. Where'd they go?
She's bringing. Where did they go?
Aldrin is following Ebony, kind of a massive smile on his face.
You've got a croissant is shoved into your hands. It's far too hot.
Annika's gonna enter like immediately behind Aldrin and try and kind of use him as a shield to sit down before being molested.
Nope. Croissant right in your hands.
I was also following.
And it goes on the table.
Ebenezer's like, he casts Mage Hand and has the hand wave at it to try and cool off the croissant.
I will follow and sit with them as well.
Madame, I do not mean to be rude, but I do not eat this.
Oh, don't call me madame. The name is Hattie, son. Come in and sit. She closes the door behind you once everyone is in, and like shoves you and pulls you around to get everyone seated. She is almost obnoxious if she wasn't so charming.
Uh,
Oh.
is the Ebenezer tries to take a bite of the croissant.
It is flaky and warm and buttery and delicious.
Oh,
Oh.
this is marvelous. Do you have any tea?
Oh yes, I'll get you some tea. Do you want black or green?
Oh, black actually.
I'll take black too, please.
She,
As a fellow baker, your croissants are
your croissants, some
And
fresh
we
baked,
understand why he doesn't eat them.
some fresh baked
Yeah.
croissants.
Tell me,
Weed.
Toussaint, when you were a child, did you get made fun of? Did they call you croissant all the time?
They did. When you were a child, did they call you ugly?
Jeez, that's rather mean of you.
I agree.
Oh.
A single tear runs down Ebenezer's cheek.
Let us not insult each other in such good company. Please.
Yes. Madam, Hattie, was it?
Yes, call me Hattie, dear.
Yes, I believe we are actually looking for rooms.
Oh yes, of course. Just the standard fare. Just pay what you can, dears, and I'll get you some rooms upstairs. You might have to share a few. I don't have that many openings here. Stormreach is a busy city after all.
I nominate that Toussaint spends the night alone.
I will not spend the night alone. This is a busy city. I love it.
That's my reason. Aldrin, would you mind bunking with me then?
Of course not. Never mind.
Okay. Yes, rooms would be lovely. Also, if you could tell us where to buy some of those lovely waterproof cloaks we've been seeing.
Let me take a peek at who might have that.
Them sweet.
Let's see. Various tools, artworks, and knickknacks. Where is that at? Empty-handed. Why would they? Sorry, I gotta read a thing.
Do.
So
Yeah, exactly. It's
What did you want to discuss with me?
I would suggest you go over to empty-handed. Old Troy over there will make sure that you're well suited out.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. This croissant really is quite tasty.
Oh, thank you, dear. You can tell the Jolt is about to speak by the coming of his fans.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
muted himself. Oh shit!
Parents brought in something. I had to inspect it and figure out what it was. So sorry about that.
What you say, Inspector?
Was
we
it
have,
a raccoon?
You have missed. nothing.
Found out that my dad owned a old-fashioned, like 20-year-old starter pistol for starting races. So
Nice.
I now own a 20-year-old blank fire.
Sell that shit. It's worth a ton, I bet. I'll keep it, but like, I assume it's worth a fair bit.
That could be true.
Who just completed a night on Five Nights at Freddy's?
Jolt.
That's my doorbell.
Christ, how terrifying. Anyway, so what are you guys doing? Yeah, she's like, people, I try to bake the best for my guests. She's gonna charge you like 4 gold total For everything, someone deduct 4 gold.
I got it.
I'll do that. Okay, you got
Fine,
it. You
man.
got
I got it. I got it.
All we can be certain of is that Toussaint does not got it.
it. Is this it?
sh-
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything important, but this is the buttery texture on this croissant. How do you do it?
It's I just put a bit of love into every batch.
Right. All right.
What's the best ingredient?
Course of action. What do you all suppose we should do? I think get supplies and then go see this strange fellow. Actually, madam, do you know anyone? Do you know the person who live at this address? And I show her the address of wherever this sword.
Oh, you would have to. See, I've been trying to stall for time, so I didn't have to do this without any prep.
Ah,
But it's not.
It's
not
okay. We
working
need to
out
go
so
shopping first.
we can go shopping.
Shopping
first.
montage.
Let's see. I'm gonna say it's in. Lives in Daniel's Pride. Well, that's Daniel's Pride is just. She like tries to figure out which direction she's looking in. That way. If you go back around out of Respite, and then up past the walk again, you'll get to Daniel's Pride. A bunch of Siren folks live there. Real tragedy what happened to their land, of course. But yeah, that man, that address is in Daniel's Pride. Just ask around there, and you should be able to find him.
Do you think is that like a posh area?
No, not nearly. No.
Ebeneer gives a look to Aldrin at that.
Pat him on the back and give him a smile.
Well then, this croissant was lovely. Are we all ready to go shopping then? Get our supplies?
Better than never.
I have 10 gold pieces. I hope it's enough.
You'll have friends. That's more than.
Why did all of you spend all your money?
I did it on my research. I learned many spells.
All right. Shall we?
Yes, if we could just drop off our things at our room and then be on our way, I think that'd be well.
How many rooms are there again?
Enough.
Aren't we bunking?
Yeah, you were saying we were sharing.
Yeah, there's 3
Yeah.
rooms.
You got 2 Warforged and the Goblin in a room. Don't worry, we're just gonna loom over you while you sleep.
No, Creep's gonna room with Toussaint.
Ha! It's almost perfect.
And he's gonna learn things about anatomy.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Do not worry, I am a
Toussaint just looks at him and goes, "You might want to turn around."
Pulls out notebook and pen.
Draw me like one of your French boys.
God dang it.
Regret nothing.
Powers of Dreams was a mistake.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. Where is the marketplace again? That Dala said about.
Just go to the center of the city. You'll find plenty of places to buy. Plenty of things to buy.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then I take, what's her name?
Hattie.
Hattie.
So I take one of Hattie's hands and kind of like grab it with both my hands. Thank you very much, Hattie. We'll be back to come to our room shortly.
Oh, no problem, dear. It's my job to show the utmost hospitality to all my guests.
So, and you're doing a fine job. Is any should we be offered one?
She hands the lot of you your room keys. The
Yay.
rooms are upstairs. They're pretty nice, pretty warm. They all have, they've all got windows to the outside. That's the word I'm looking for. Well, all got windows to the outside, 2 beds, a single nightstand, coat rack. There's a shared bathroom. It's pretty well cleaned.
Cool. I guess I drop off some extra stuff and probably my backpack, and then head out to the shopping area with my mother.
Nice.
Are there, out of curiosity, are there people like riding horses through here too?
Yes, to a degree. Most traffic is on foot within the city itself. There are, of course, the scaffolds which rise up above the city, connecting various houses and stone structures with rope and wood scaffolding, rope bridges and such.
All right. The main reason I asked is because I always in cities like this, I always imagine there's tons of foot traffic, and then there's people on horses, and maybe the occasional cart coming down the road.
Not so much this city. Due to the way that it's built, there's not much infrastructure to ride a horse on, or pull a cart down. People have carts pulled by horses now and then, but they're not as common as you might see in some cities.
Right. I think for the sake of helping, or for the sake of making it a bit easier myself, then, since we do see it occasionally at least, I'm gonna go ahead and ritual cast Phantom Steed while we are all kind of while we're all kind of getting ready to go shopping.
I'm not going
Okay.
anywhere right away, yo.
Well, while you
just makes
guys
it easier to
are
get around.
putting stuff away in your rooms, Blink. Why did I say Blink? Creep will cast Phantom Steed. Let me
That's
take a
my
look.
second name.
Well, that's my character. That's my meme character. Let's see.
Oh,
Takes
well,
One of those
Searching, right?
200 damage per round.
176 damage, boys.
Jesus Christ! That character's
Let's see. A large quasi-real horse-like creature. Spell ends if the steed takes any damage. Okay. So yeah, you summon a phantom steed. What's it look like?
It is it's a large horse with almost sort of a see-through appearance to it. It's beyond that, it mostly looks normal except for the occasional blue markings going down the eyes and body, which sort of reveal the arcana that's coursing through it.
That is sick.
Yeah, you now have a phantom steed. And so everyone comes out front once they're finished putting stuff away in their rooms, and Creep is stroking this weird horse.
Look at my horse. My horse is
Oh,
Where
please
did that-
no.
Where did that beast come from?
I summoned it from the ethereal. I figured it could help with shopping.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure how the horse will help negotiate prices, but sure, whatever.
This is a good excuse. I like this one. Where did this woman come from? I summoned her from the ethereal.
Croissant, would you please stop with your mind for a moment?
I probably cannot agree to that, but what did you have in mind?
What? No, just stop. That's all I ask. Just stop entirely, please.
No, I probably cannot. But let us go shopping.
Yes, whatever you say, Croissant.
We all heard it.
Oh,
right?
let's not make that a thing.
Yeah.
But
All right, so the. One sec. Sorry, I'm hearing things.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm hearing things. I thought I was hearing a groan, or maybe that was through somebody's.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
That was just Demi's latest victim finally succumbing.
I don't know what's going on. It could be anything. It could be a ghost. It could be UFO. It could be that my parents have their TVs too loud upstairs. All right, so you guys, the what's up?
I was just gonna say I will offer to carry anything that we buy upon the Phantom Steed.
All right,
Look
all
at
right.
that, the horse's phantom disappeared, and so did our stuff.
No,
Hey, anything made with the spell disappears.
Yeah, we just drop to the ground and break.
Oh, why did we
I
buy
know-
the glass chandelier?
I'm keeping
I don't know
track.
why we bought this 500-year-old urn.
All right, so from House Teresco's Enclave and the inn, the ground slopes down and around into Daniel's Pride. You see a sort of swirling. You see a mishmash of various wooden and stone constructs. You see many insignias of Sire painted on them. I forgot what Sire's thing was. Their crest.
Is it the griffin?
It's not the griffin.
No. I remember a
probably-
griffin.
It's probably folk now. Just folk.
Anyway, you guys.
Dolphin.
You guys pass through here, asking for directions to the marketplace, and they redirect you into the marketplace proper. There's all manners of paths through here, except for they're not really clear. But regardless, you finally arrive at the marketplace. Here, broken arches and fallen columns are covered with awnings and surrounded by market stalls. The twisting, improvised streets are crammed with people, most of them visitors, making their way through the city and stopped at every turn by hawkers trying to sell one thing or another. 3 great buildings loom over everything in this quarter. Falconer's Spire, which is over here at 14, is the largest of them. It has a single airship docked against it with its blazing fire around it. The Bazaar, which is at its center, this massive building with the red tent over it. It's a gigantic tent sheltering the city's great open market, and the Lor's March Palace, the center of the Stormlord's power, which is at 15, several stories tall at the far end. This is the heart of the city. All the city's struggles, opportunities, and danger are gathered here and intensified. You can feel it in the air.
Wow. I must say this is thoroughly impressive. Did not quite expect this when I arrived at Zendrick, honestly. But this is quite nice.
Fish! Fresh fish! You want to buy some fish, sir? You want some fish? Cheap price, two copper a pound.
What fish do you have?
No, but you see that fellow over there with the invisible gloves? I think he wants a ton. Just keep
Yeah,
trying
that
to stuff
that man with the invisible gloves.
it.
I'm very disappointed that fish wasn't £1.
I think that's a British meme as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah,
Lost
that's
me
going over
completely.
my head.
You guys haven't experienced the wonder of £1 fish.
He got deported apparently.
He did, but he came back.
Did he?
Student visa. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah,
great.
you guys look at £1 fish after this.
That's
Okay.
just-
Ebeneer's gonna go look for waterproof cloaks.
Well, this guy's selling a real big fish, so
That's I get
That
the
film with
reference, but
Ewan
that's not
McGregor,
as
right?
good.
yeah, I don't remember a single song they've done. I just know their music. Anyway, you find actually on your way through Camels Pride, you do find a number of people selling cloaks. There are many. Actually, through the sloth. The sloths is the one where you would see a bunch of loomers and millers and the word seamstresses. There we go, seamsters and seamstresses. They're selling all
Maybe-
manner of fancy cloaks, A waterproof one is probably a gold.
Is it like with a hood and everything?
Yes, it's a proper cloak.
Maybe we should get clothes that could fit any weather. We're going to the jungle, in Stormreach, and we're going to deserts.
Well, that's fair enough, but maybe we should see about the flaming swords before we get all the supplies for the trip itself.
I mean, this is. I don't think they're doing much. I could even pay for it, even.
Very well. Can we at least get the waterproof cloaks?
Oh, sorry, the cloaks are 3 gold apiece. My bad.
Oh, well then.
Oh.
Ebonir will buy a waterproof.
Well, that's too much.
I would enjoy a new cloak.
Yeah, I'd grab one as well.
3 gold apiece. They look pretty good.
Yeah.
Tucson probably shops around to
Got
find one that
wait, I
matches
already
Tucson's
got
outfit.
my.
That fits and so that's great.
How much does it weigh?
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
The fuck? they weigh about 2 pounds. They've got proper leather, so that they're waterproof with a comfortable warm in like cloth lining. There are 6 if you guys want to pay 3 gold apiece, there are 6 cloaks in the party inventory.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
I paid 3 gold.
I paid
I will
3
take
gold.
the cloak.
Alright, so everyone who pays 3 golds can grab a cloak from the party inventory.
Grab
I will
a
do
cheeky
so.
cloak.
I've never used party inventory. How does this work again?
Grab
Drag
it,
one
grab the red dragon, and drag it onto your own sheet from it.
in? Got it.
Whose PlayStation was that?
PlayStation.
Oh, I added a imaginary waterproof cloak.
What did you do? Goodbye, cloak.
Mistakes. You deleted the cloak.
Yes, I deleted the cloak.
Can we continue on to the bazaar
Marketplace?
district?
Yeah.
Yeah, you enter the bazaar. They are selling everything in the PHB. They are selling actually for how much? Let's see. Bazaar. Yeah, the bazaar dominates the marketplace and be seen from every part of it. It's a mess of walkways, smaller tents, and market stalls, all lent a reddish glow when sunlight shines through the tent overhead.
Do they? Is there magic items here or no?
Perhaps a. What are you looking for?
I'm trying to see if I can find a cheaper wand. Where is it? The War Mage wand.
Roll a. If you want to take an hour to search around, I'll let you roll a persuasion check to do so.
I will take an hour to search around, presuming I don't get.
All right. What does everyone else want to search for?
Can I follow Ebonir around and talk to merchants badly about him to give him disadvantage on this search?
Yes.
No,
If you really want to be an ass about it.
yeah, it's tempting, but croissant, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got an easy
Ebonir,
one.
if you did that, Ebonir would think sick stuff on you.
Annika's gonna quietly excuse herself. She'll probably like tell Creep or someone who probably won't pass it on to the group that she's going to like have a look at stuff, and she'll meet him back at the inn, and then she's just gonna like wander off and look for stuff.
Creep would wave.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it. Actually,
Really?
this isn't like Sharn where you can just find any uncommon magic item.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So, but if you want to spend that hour, you can make the check.
I'll make a check. Can I use my inspiration? I have 2, right?
Can use your inspiration.
Do I have 2? Or I have 1?
we got one at the beginning of the session and then one again, right? So I should have two.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
so I'm gonna use.
everyone got one at the beginning of the session, and that's it.
Okay.
Trister got another one.
So, could I try like looking for like a bag of holding or something?
Yes, I'll let you each make just one a day. With a 17, you do not find one. However, you do find someone selling a bunch of stuff. Let's
Cool.
see.
I also use inspiration.
What is he selling? That's the question.
That's a good question.
Stuff. A bunch of it.
You both run into the same dude.
But does he have my bag of holding that I need?
Maybe?
Ooh.
He's selling a bunch of
D6s.
potions. They're pretty strong potions. Potion of this potion will increase your strength 5 times. This will heal even the most dire of wounds, and this one will let you turn invisible if you need to do something that requires that. And he waggles his incredibly thick eyebrows in a very disturbing manner.
So
How much is the healing one? What exactly does it do?
Let's see. This is. Oh, it's very, very expensive. Oof. It's a potion of supreme healing. He's selling it for like 25,000 gold.
oh my god!
It glimmers with like a reddish gold color.
I just look at the man. I just look at the man and I start laughing. I'm like, do you see anyone around here who has 25,000 gold? Well, you're in the wrong place, my man, to sell that.
That is a good point. Let me look for where's the rules for brewing potions? Where
His
the heck?
potions are too strong for you, traveler.
Yes, they are.
Handle these potions.
No, 20,000 gold would actually be the selling price for them. So,
I'm
no.
yes.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I don't expect anyone to buy it from me anyway.
Well, very well.
It's a collector's piece.
The other two potions are similarly very expensive.
Well, in that case, I'll not buy anything.
Does he have just some regular like healing potions?
Oh yeah, he's got some healing potions. He's got how many has he got in stock? He's got 9 in stock.
Regular, or does he have some greater healing?
He does not have any greater healing.
Damn. All right. Well, I will buy the lot of those for 50 gold each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Nice.
well, oh well. maybe not.
Tranquility.
I'm going to not buy the lot of those because I am not smart. I'm
Didn't
gonna
you?
buy 5 of those.
Buy 5 of those.
I turned to Tranquility and I'm like, didn't you give all your money to Fallen? Did I remember that correctly?
I did not give my money to the fallen. I kind of say as I'm starting to sort out the change, I simply brought money in through merchants.
Through
Money-
merchants.
Yes.
Interesting. I must say, your attitude of late has been more, well, pleasant. To be honest, there's something changed about you.
Yes, a lot has changed. I've found an inner peace that I believe none of my other brethren have been able to achieve.
Well, that's quite nice. Glad to hear it.
Yes, as I'll buy the 5 potions, giving him 250 gold.
All right, the 5 of them are in the party inventory. Yes, I do that on
I'll-
purpose, just because I can.
Damn.
Well, thankfully, I hate this part.
Ah, it's so good.
That's how Rick gets his jollies.
Mm-hmm. Gotta get some way.
I've got to get this bloody wand. Tell me, merchant, have you heard of anyone who sells wands of any type?
Give me a sec. Let me take a peek. Wands? What? What? You some sort of spell mage caster?
Well, yes. to be
Have you been
frank.
playing that Sega again?
You play the Nintendo all the time.
Yeah, Nintendo's.
My Nintendies.
Oh.
Slap the Nintendies out of your hand. He has no idea. There's a group of mages over in Respite, but they're a bunch of you know, imagine the bazaar, but even more inanely complicated and difficult to go around, and people selling you fish, but magic fish. A terrible place.
Terrible place of mages. All right. But thank you for your time. Good luck selling your.
I can't find the name of the actual
25,000
the house of wizardry.
House of Wizardry, huh?
Shall we gather everyone else, see what they've bought? Tranquility?
It is getting toward like 4 o'clock at this point.
Yes. Perhaps we should go visit this individual and at
See if
least
he's legit.
ascertain whether it's a good idea to go on this idiotic quest.
I'll nod with him at this point, and we'll start walking away. I'm walking away.
What's Annika doing? What did Annika wander off to do? Trister. Trister.
Is he dead? He's dead.
Still connected.
Oh no. Bueller?
Trister.
Bueller.
His mic's dying horribly.
So what's Aldrin doing?
Aldrin is stalking it. No, he is getting ingredients, cooking. Not cooking. He's getting some bacon ingredients because he wants to try this like meat pie, the same sort of meat pie he ate in Shan, and trying to replicate that. He's also going to get some flour to make a puff pastry for Cornish pasties, and to make a nice meal. And he's going to buy the £1 fish.
Okay. All together, you decide how much you're willing to spend.
Oh, 10 gold? Does that sound
fair?
fair?
10 gold
That's
sounds fair. 10 gold sounds fair. So what's Annika doing this whole time?
Yeah. So Annika's mostly on the lookout for like anyone who will sell components for like ammunition of various types. I'm not sure if I could do this, but I wanted to like get like a certain amount of gold's worth of just generic ammunition stuff so that I could either make regular things like for Toussaint if he ran out, or more specialized kinds for myself.
So what kind of tool proficiencies do you have? You've got a bunch.
All of them. Let me go to my...
Got Tinker's tools. I guess Tinker's tools would do it. Just for shaping the metal and stuff. Yeah, you wander into an alchemist shop, alchemist bazaar. It's actually in a small tent. And as you walk in, you hear a whoosh as some powder goes off to either side of you, and you just cough as your nostrils are filled with this nasty smell. Welcome to my home of alchemic wonders. I see that you have come here searching for something. What is it that you need?
Yeah, just cut the crap, mate. I need blasting powder, cartridges, paper if you've got them. That's easier. Maybe some propellants, stuff like that.
You want to make a bang, and he like you know the meme where you just like sprinkle some stuff down. He does that with some powder, and it just pops on the ground.
Look,
And
cut the theatrics. I'm not a tourist.
oh, fine, and you can buy as much as 100 gold of in gunsmith supplies from him.
100 gold sounds cool. I will reduce my amount by that much and do
It's not so much cartridges you have to like make yourself, so they're kind of janky. They're like bits of tin that you shape with like a press, with like a tiny press that is part of your Tinker's toolkit if you have it. You have a Tinker's toolkit.
I'm pretty sure I do. I have.
You do.
Yeah. Create item.
Just create an item for that. What about Creep? What's Creep doing?
I am mostly. You know what? I'm looking for a grappling hook.
They sell grappling hooks.
How much?
Normal price. They're in the PHP. They're
All
also in the items list.
Are they under 7 gold? Is the important thing.
I don't know actually.
They're 2 gold. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take a grappling hook, and I will take 50 feet of rope, I guess.
Oh man,
yes.
Creep is super broke. Holy moly!
Alright. Yeah, I spent all my money. It has to be hemp, and it's gonna have to be hemp rope.
Yeah.
Can't afford that silk, man.
All right, so it seems like we're kind of winding down here, because I'm up for prep, and you guys don't seem to know what to do. I will come. So you guys are gonna go meet the dude about the flaming swords, right?
Yes.
Okay. Before you rest, I will work on the prep for next week. You guys can do any more shopping you have between. Just like message me or whatever, and I'll open up Fantasy Grounds for you. But other than that, we're gonna wrap this up here because, like, we're getting low energy.
Yes, it seems
All
like
right.
that.
Definitely.
I started that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same, but that's me all the time. So that's going to be it for today. I want to thanks to everyone who stopped in for the stream, everyone who watched the VOD. If you want to support this, check me out on patreon.com/thekittenhugs, where I do homebrew requests, and overall just thanks to everyone who's donated and given such great support. And thank you to my wonderful players who can once again have almost an entire session go by without a single roll, as you bank more inspiration as people pay for it.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
You guys are the best.
See ya.
See you around.
Bye.
See ya.